We are back. It's like it never ended. Here we are, early morning Sunday, ready to talk fantasy football. I feel like my voice is a little different. I don't know. I didn't wake up too long ago, but
it is.
You're a little scratchy. It's all good. We got you.
Last night was a fun one. Had a busy stream till about 1 a.m. I think it ended. But man, this community, you guys are freaking awesome. We love you.
Hell yeah.
And right away, Jeffrey Jacobs, longtime RotoHeat member, says, "Good morning, RotoHeat team. Now that the Titans have said they aren't trading Derrick Henry or Hopkins, what other backup should I look to acquire who might be a starter next week?" So who else do you think could get traded? I'm personally not 100%. I never believe when teams say they won't do something. It seems like that's the proper thing to say if you want to actually get value out of guys instead of being like, we are trading this guy. So I'm not 100% convinced these guys don't move, but maybe they don't. But who else out there do you think could get traded that would make a backup a starter? Sully, you have any thoughts, any ideas on players that might?
Well, I have a running back who's currently a backup who very likely could be the starter, trade or no trade, and that's Cam Akers. And I know it's a little bit of crow for me to eat when we talk about Alexander Madison, but if you watched last week's surprising Monday night victory over the San Francisco 49ers, they're using Akers in all the key situation. He's the red zone guy. He's got a ton of burst. He looked great on Monday night, both running and catching the football. So that's a guy that I would go take a look for on other opponents' rosters if he's available. In terms of getting traded, like who could be traded that could become a starter? I only think there's one landing spot that you can be a starter. So it's whoever could get traded to Baltimore. And other than Derrick Henry, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. How about you, Bryce?
No, I was going to mention Cam Akers because of his usage last week as well. It's nice of you to finally admit defeat on that because we were trying to tell you he's always like he's a second half of the season type of guy too. It seems like so.
I'm wrong like so many times that it's easy for me to admit it, right?
Well, so at least this is a situation you can be wrong and happy about. Yeah, at least this is a situation you can be wrong and happy about. So,
well, I don't know about happy. There's still one team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown from their running backs, and that's Minnesota, the only team in the NFL.
That is
wow.
True.
They don't have any.
Nope.
Zero.
No rush.
They have, I think, 17 touchdowns on the season, all through the air.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think Madison's caught one or two of them, so he's not.
He's caught two. He's caught two. Yeah. We found that out on the show last night. We were talking. We had a question where we were trying to figure out which player was the best to score a touchdown, and it came down to him and Rashee Rice with a whopping total of 5 combined. So, lots of likely touchdowns there. I would say it would be interesting to watch the Dalvin Cook thing. Who knows where he goes and if he gets traded from New York, since he's not liking his usage there. I would hold on to Spears. I see Jeff down a couple below says that he's been holding on to Spears in case they do trade him. Yeah, I would definitely hold on to him.
Regardless, because Henry's not exactly young and a picture of health possibly as well, right? So
yep, there's standalone value there too, especially in games where they play teams where they get rocked by. Spears gets more action in those games as well. Obviously, you guys know I like Akers. I've always been an Akers fan, but I don't know. It would have been nice if like Khalil Herbert was a little healthier, right? Because the Bears could trade Foreman. They've got too many running backs. Even Evans has looked good over the past 2 weeks and the opportunities he's got, but I don't think there's a lot of other running backs out there that would be moved, but they surprise us all the time.
Maybe Chuba. If Carolina's just trying to get anything out of anything, maybe Chuba can go somewhere, but I don't know how excited I would be about Chuba Hubbard being a starting running back. So I think he's more of a complimentary guy. I think Dalvin's contract is hard to move. Plus he looks absolutely washed. So we'll see what happens.
What about any wide receivers? Are there any wide receivers that you see that could be getting traded here? Devontae Adams, maybe.
The Raiders are probably going to hold on to Adams, but maybe. I think Hunter Renfrow has a better chance of getting traded off of the Raiders than Devontae Adams. I think Jerry Jeudy's name has obviously been out there quite a bit that he could move. Terrace Marshall Jr. has been given permission to look for a new job. I don't know if he's going to find one. I think DeAndre Hopkins, if the Titans could find someone that would take him, would move him. I just don't know if there's a big appetite to take a guy like Nuke at this stage of his career, even though I would be so happy if he got traded right now. But those are a few guys off the top of my head. KJ Osborne's been rumored, but I just don't think Minnesota's selling right now. I think we're delusional and thinking we're still a playoff team.
Bryce, you got any thoughts on receivers?
I mean, yeah, I think this trade deadline, I feel like every year the trade deadline gets hyped up, and it kind of usually disappoints. And I feel like this year it's not really getting hyped up, so we're not going to be disappointed, but I think it's going to be kind of boring. I think the only way that it gets made excited is if, for fantasy purposes, is if we see a running back go to the Ravens or we see a wide receiver go to the Chiefs. I think that's the only way we see some guys really see a boost in their fantasy value. So a veteran wide receiver going to the Chiefs really makes a lot of sense because they really haven't had anybody step up too much at the wide receiver position outside of, honestly, Rashee Rice. He's looked pretty good for a rookie. And yeah, the Ravens, Ravens last week, Gus Edwards looked like, he did 3 years ago before 3 extra injuries that he's received since then. So if he can kind of keep that same burst that he showed last week, they might just, run with what they got in the committee because it keeps a lot of guys with fresh legs.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a decent amount of activity, but there's just the teams that need, or the teams that don't need certain players, the veteran receivers and running backs, don't really have them anyway to trade away. So right. I think a lot of it's going to be on the defensive side. I know there were a lot of rumors last night that the Bears and Commanders may have a deal for Chase Young. So don't know if that'll happen. Would be really awesome.
What about Darnell Mooney? Do you think he can go?
Darnell Mooney could go. Man, there's, like you said, Jeudy, Hopkins. Trying to think of some other teams that could move. Just, it doesn't seem like it's on the offensive skill position part of the whole thing that's going to be big in the trades. It's not going to be the names that it's going to be more like side pieces and mostly on defense. So Aaron Jones or Foreman in PPR. Bryce.
I'm going to go with an Aaron Jones bounce back week. I know Foreman played phenomenal last week. He won me a league alone, got me the high score in it too. So I really appreciate him, but we got Roschon Johnson back this week. And he was already starting above Foreman prior to he and Khalil Herbert getting injured the same week. So that backfield could get a little bit murkier this week. Do they go back to the original depth chart with Roschon in front of them? You might have some more insight on that, Rick. Or, Foreman's earned his fair share, but do you see it being more of a 50-50 this upcoming week? Or do you see Foreman taking bulk of the work? With that, I guess I'll just go with the better player here in Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I don't want any piece of Foreman this week with Roschon back. Foreman could get work. They're probably he's probably gonna get a decent amount of work because they are playing the Chargers. They're gonna want to run the ball with Badgett back at quarterback. The guy that averaged 2.1 air yards per pass last week for the lowest on the year. So they don't really want to be throwing the ball a whole lot with this guy. And if you didn't see, they took him out at the end of the first half to let Nathan Peterman throw the Hail Mary because his arm is a noodle. So that's where we're at in Chicago. So Foreman probably will get action, but it's Aaron Jones for me. Green Bay needs Aaron Jones so bad. They need to hope that this is the week that he gets back to being the old Aaron Jones. So I'm rolling Aaron Jones here.
I am as well. The Minnesota Vikings defense is coming on, and they're playing a lot better. But where I see Aaron Jones making an impact today is receiving the football, not so much running the football. That said, I think Foreman does have a role at least until Herbert gets back. I think he's earned that with the work that he's done. I think the volume of rushing, to Rick's point, is going to be there. The Chargers are also a defense you can run on, so it shapes up nicely for everyone who can run the football in Chicago. But Aaron Jones, saying he's close to 100% has got to be the guy you go with, in my opinion, here.
Joe needs to know, are we rocking with Stafford or Stroud today?
What up, Joe?
Joey?
I'm rocking Stroud over Stafford this week.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've got as well.
Houston's got the Panthers, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, and the Rams got the Cowboys, which is they're not a gift.
Not as bad as it was, but still not great.
Yeah, they're still ranked number 2 against quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I have Stroud 9 and Stafford 14, so yeah. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
H wants to know PPR start 2 Higgins, Ridley, London, Rice, and I'm going to tell you guys, we had so many questions last night with these 4 in it, so we're probably gonna have a bunch of them today as well. So, starting 2 out of the 4. Where are you going, Bryce? Which 2 are you starting?
I'm starting Higgins. Yeah, I'm going to start Higgins. I know the matchup's not the best, but I feel like we thought that last week, and Jordan Addison absolutely ripped him apart. I'll go with Higgins, and Ridley's got a really, really soft matchup, and I feel like this is a bounce-back week for Ridley, too. Usually don't see a guy like him have 2 really, really bad weeks in a row. Teams might start having to focus on Christian Kirk more. Yeah, I'll go with Higgins and Ridley here. Sully.
I have London ranked highest, so I'll go with him. I think if you're going to beat Tennessee, it's through the air, not on the ground. And next up in my rankings is Calvin Ridley, and I pray to God they get him off the boundary and let him move around the field a little bit because he's the best receiver on their team that they're not using properly. So it's London and Ridley for me. Higgins and Rice are right behind them in the rankings, though.
Yeah, I was leaning going Ridley, London here. I talked myself out of Higgins so much last night, and that may be bad because he obviously is coming back from that injury, but he's only scored more than 4 points once all year. Hasn't been good thus far. I just feel more comfortable right now with Ridley and London being able to get me 10 points. And that's really where I'm at here. So I'm with you. I'm going to go Ridley and London, and maybe we'll see T get healthy and bounce back. But right now I'm just going to go with what I'm more comfortable with. Jonathan Tilley wants to know Garrett Wilson or Calvin Ridley. Gonna have lots of Ridley in here, baby.
I'm Garrett Wilson here.
Both have soft matchups, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ridley
higher as well.
Ridley against the Steelers and Wilson against the Giants.
Give me Garrett Wilson.
Little clean sweep on the G. Wilson. Jeff says that Spears is staying unless he gets a solid overpay.
Smart man.
Gentlemen, which wide receiver should I start? Jordan Addison with the chance Alexander doesn't line up against him? Deontay Johnson or Kirk? Bryce.
Yeah, this is a potentially tough matchup for Jordan Addison if he does draw Jair the entire game. I would say the safest play here is probably Christian Kirk. You could probably attribute this to maybe a floor and ceiling place because it seems like obviously Addison does have that ceiling play at this point throughout the season. But I'll go the little safer who still has that multiple touchdown upside with Christian Kirk. I'm going Christian Kirk here. Sully.
The homer in me has Jordan Addison ranked 11th this week, so I am rolling him out there. I don't care who he's lined up against because it hasn't mattered yet.
11th overall or wide receiver?
Wide receiver.
Okay. I was like, okay, that's a little crazy. I have him 28th overall. So I probably have him in that range. You have him 26th overall, so same range. But I'm going Jordan Addison here as well.
Do we want to take a $5 Kirk versus Addison?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm on a heater, so I might as well keep her going. I'm about as hot as
know.
Addison is.
We've split the last 2 weeks, always. So
I might be
I'm as hot as
bankrupt.
Jordan
I have
Addison.
no idea.
Don't worry, nobody pays this shit anyway. It's all good.
DM Fresh says that's the one that we just did. Good afternoon, everyone. Marco from the future says, just wait till these questions start coming in.
Marco.
I have Jonathan Taylor, Pacheco, Josh Jacobs, and Puka Nacua. I need a running back and a flex.
Wow.
I mean,
are we all on Taylor this week?
This is easy for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Taylor Puka.
I think so
Puka.
too. I want to say Pacheco because I think that game shapes up to run a little bit more, but nah, I don't know how you sit Puka right now. Taylor and Puka for me as well.
And Taylor looked a lot better last week, got a lot more involved. And
I did see Moss is expected to play today, but I think he slowly gets faded back to Zach Moss territory.
I love when Jonathan asks us these questions, these TD only leagues. We got Trey McBride, Deontay Johnson, Tutu Atwell, or Jamison Williams. Which one of these guys is most likely to score?
That's crazy. I'm going to go Trey McBride, and I know he's got a tough matchup against Baltimore, but he is actually top 3 in yards per route run by tight ends right now. And with Ertz on IR, I think they lean on him, and garbage time touchdowns count just as much as ones in the first quarter. So I'll go Trey McBride.
You go, Rick. Let me look something up.
I don't know who to pick.
I'm going to look something up.
Why are you telling me to do it?
Because it's like the best. I feel like the best option here is on the team that scores the least amount of touchdowns.
Are you talking about the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, from a volume perspective,
yeah,
I feel like Deontay's got to be the pick. But they don't score a lot of touchdowns, like you said. But
they don't get a lot of yards. They don't get a lot of anything on offense.
They've scored 8 on the season, Pittsburgh.
That's terrible. They're averaging
5 passing touchdowns all season.
Well, how many passing touchdowns does Arizona have? Because I would say they probably about in the same range.
Arizona has
probably
a total of 12 touchdowns, 7
passing.
So about
7 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
But Steelers had a brutal opening schedule to the season as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Deontay. I don't love it, but I'm not gonna love it with whichever one I pick. Out of this group, Tutu I would have liked before Kupp was back
for sure.
So I'll go Deontay as well.
Which one do you like more for the last bench spot in a dynasty league? Zach Evans or Pierre Strong? Sully.
I'll go Pierre Strong. I think Sean McVay has a way of telling us how he feels about his running backs, and he just told us how he feels about Zach Evans.
Pierre Strong's just not very good either.
When you're bringing in 4 guys off the street, basically, and you have a rookie sitting there waiting, that's not good news.
Yeah, but, that could just be he doesn't know the offense yet. I just worry maybe he's not a very good blocker, but
he didn't get a touch.
So. That's true.
Yeah, he went from being the waiver wire darling to literally, he was DeMercado from the week before, except for we knew Zach Evans was going that route.
And if he doesn't know the offense after being drafted, going through all the offseason program and into week 7, that's another reason you shouldn't pick him up or hold on to him.
I guess I'll go with Pierre Strong as well.
Yeah. I would try to.
It's not like they didn't just, as soon as, what's his name went down, Chubb, they did bring in Hunt. They didn't let's roll out with Pierre Strong. They brought in someone else off the street to.
That's fair.
And
this is the last spot on your.
Traded. Yeah.
The last spot on your dynasty bench. It shouldn't exactly be.
Yeah,
might never
something
rock.
Yeah, if we're talking, that's your last spot, and this guy's going to get so much work and is a stud, then your team's too good. So this is the right conversation for the last spot of a dynasty roster.
100%.
I'll go strong, but I would be looking for somebody like DeMercado or somebody else over these guys if they're available.
I'm starting DeMercado in 2 dynasty leagues this week, and I feel pretty good about it.
I
think, unless it goes back to 2 weeks ago.
That's what I was gonna say. I love when they make it seem like this is the clear thing to do. So you start DeMercado in week 6, and he gets 1 touch, and then you're like, oh, cool. Now the right thing to do is to bench him. Oh, he gets all the work,
right?
Stevenson or Laporta in the flex? Stevenson for me.
Stevenson for me.
Same as me.
I do like Laporta though, man.
I'm a little worried about Sam Laporta being as good as we think he is right now. Like, I love him in a dynasty format. He's just, I'm a little worried with I don't know. I don't really have any reason.
I'm worried with literally every tight end not named Travis Kelce at this point.
That's fair.
Should I drop Brandon Cooks for Wan'Dale Robinson?
Yeah.
I would. Parker Morant says Jalen Warren or Kareem Hunt in another league. Kareem Hunt for me.
Kareem Hunt for me.
What about Jalen Warren? I think he's going to see more volume this week, I think. Actually, no, I forgot that Ford's probably not playing, right?
He apparently shocked the coaching staff and trainers of how well he ran on Friday. So they have no reason
to play him, right? They're first in their division, and I'll go Kareem Hunt, but I like both this week.
Isn't it funny that your quarterback gets paid, gets cleared by everybody in the world to play and doesn't want to, but then your running back has an high ankle sprain, which normally keeps people out for multiple weeks, and then he comes back on Friday like, fooled you, I'm playing. It's
little bit of a difference between a guy who has a fully guaranteed $230 million contract and a guy who knows he's the backup as soon as the starter's knee gets better. I'd probably hobble in there and try to play too.
I know the teammates are looking like, dude, we can't get our quarterback on the field. Every quarterback I've ever seen, even bad ones, want to be on the field and want to be playing. Deshaun Watson's a twat. That's all I'm going to say.
It's the most powerful man in the Cleveland Browns organization right now. Nobody can tell him what to do. What are they going to do?
Players never the most powerful. Those guys have a lot of money. They'll figure something out. AJ Dillon, Jeff Wilson, Chuba Hubbard in the flex. Pick one for a meal. Sully.
I don't want to. Without looking at my rankings, I think it's Chuba Hubbard. I think the Vikings against non-DeAndre Swift rushers have been excellent this season. So I like the Vikings to hold Green Bay in check on the ground. It's the air that I worry about. Jeff Wilson, I just don't know what role he has, and I don't think it's going to be much yet. But I think Chuba's probably at least a 50-50 split with Sanders this week, if not 60-40 Hubbard. So I'll go Chuba.
Bryce?
I was trying to look at usage. I was looking at something yesterday about how Miles Sanders has looked horrible this year, which has opened the door for Chuba. So I'm going to go with that because, like you said earlier, Rick, Green Bay's got to get Aaron Jones more involved. So that's going to hurt A.J. Dillon. Jeff Wilson really wasn't much of a factor last week. So I'll go with Chuba Hubbard as well.
I'm going with Chuba as well, but I don't think – I think Miles Sanders is still the guy there. I just think that Hubbard will get more work than Dillon, and we don't know about Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson could get worked in this week and then go nutso because that's what they do.
One carry from Wilson could make the difference, right?
It is the first game all year that Miles Sanders is fully healthy and not carrying a injury designation unless one popped up. I was reading about that as well.
Really? That's wild.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson or Tank Dell flex 12-man PPR. And lots of Tank Dell questions last night too.
Yeah, there were.
But I'm going Deontay.
I'm going to join you. I just think he gets targeted way too much to sit him.
Yeah, I mean, the snap percentage, too. Deontay Johnson's on the field pretty much the entire game, and Tank Dell's still not getting majority of the snap snap percentage compared to Robert Woods and
Robert Woods is out though, right?
I don't know if he's
Robert
out.
Woods is out.
He's been. I don't know if he practiced all week, but I don't know if he's been ruled out. I haven't seen it,
Look
but I can
real
look.
quick. I definitely could change it, but I'm still going.
I don't think it
going to go
matters.
Deontay. Oh yeah, Robert Woods to miss several weeks. That was an hour ago. So I
Okay.
think Dell's got some value definitely moving forward here. But yep, I will go with Deontay Johnson still.
I think that's why Noah Brown was a popular waiver
Makes
guy
sense.
this week was because
I
of
like
Robert
Noah
Woods.
Brown.
Marco says Dak or Stafford. I think I have Dak ahead. Yep.
I think I have Dak at 11. I do have Dak at 11, and I have Stafford at 18, I think. So, yeah, I'm going Dak here.
I think that's the same range I have them in. Dak I have at 11, and Stafford I have at 14. Looks like we have them the same exact.
Yep, give me that.
Look at that. Need to start 3 of these guys. 0.5 PPR league. Joe Mixon, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Christian Watson, Deontay Johnson. Thanks for the help, boys. So 3 out of those. I can go first to give you guys a minute here to think.
I'm ready as well.
Mixon. I'm going Metcalf, and I'm going Pittman. First 3.
I am going Mixon, Pittman, Deontay.
And I wouldn't argue heavy against that.
I've learned my Michael Pittman lessons. And did you hear Michael Pittman all pissed off last week? Maybe I'm not maybe I'm not an important part of this offense. The guy's like 9th in the league in targets, and he's bitching. I love it.
He got 2 last week. That's why he was upset. He took one to the house too.
Yeah,
75-yarder to save the day. He just always figures out how to get there in fantasy to not like screw you.
Yeah, definitely didn't screw me in our $5 bet. That's the only reason
I was talking last week about how nobody scores on the Browns, and then Gardner Minshew just goes out there and shreds them. Where I was like, "What is happening?" It was awesome.
I'm actually gonna sit Mixon. I think I'm gonna go Metcalf, Pittman, and Deontay Johnson.
I don't hate that. I just think Mixon gets the ball in his hands too much to sit him.
Yeah,
even if
he's been utterly disappointing.
Even if he runs for 2.8 yards every time he does it, it could do it 25 times.
He does have a nice floor. He probably has the best floor of those guys.
Cat says team doesn't like Ridley, so he can't be trusted in fantasy. End of story. I don't know that that's the case. I just think that you've got receivers that have been with the quarterback for multiple years now, and you've got a guy that's only played 6 games with this quarterback, and I don't think they're on 100% the same page. We've seen huge games out of Ridley this year. I just think that's a big part of it. Kirk, he had all last year with. Same with Zay Jones when he's on the field. So you were getting ready to say something there, Sully.
I think I froze up. It's Canada after all. I just think they just run Calvin Ridley's route tree. He's too small. They're just keeping him on the boundary, and he's playing on 1/10 of the field. Well, he could be doing so much more in other spots. So I don't know if they hate him. I think they don't hate him. I think they just Christian Kirk's balling out, so they're rolling with him right now. But I have a very good feeling that Calvin Ridley produces today. And Cat, you're 100% correct.
It's only at 2.
I don't know about the wide open. I don't know about the wide open all year part.
He's only had 2 bad weeks. He's gone 2 stretches of 2 bad weeks in a row. So
has he only had really one? I thought he really only had one good game week 1.
He's had 2 good games. Yeah, Buffalo and Indianapolis, and then Atlanta. He had over 10. I mean, that's not terrible, but nothing to write home about.
2 good games. It's week 8, so I hear you. It's a good mug.
Thank you. Festive.
Okay.
We collect mugs. So
cool.
All right, we got Goff or Burrow for Parker. I have Goff ahead.
So do I. I have Goff at 6.
I have Goff definitely. At 7 and Burrow at 15.
Burrow at 12. I don't hate him as much as you
do. The matchup sucks for Burrow, right? San Fran, but
does it?
Yeah, well, the Vikings don't count. They just do everything wrong. Like they can't even play their bad matchups bad. They got to play their bad matchups good, their good matchups bad. It's frustrating.
I'll just say this about the Niners. I think the Niners are an incredibly good football team, but we just saw PJ Walker march the football down the field against them, not terribly. And Kirk Cousins, the guy who can't play on Monday night, had the best game of his career, I think. So I'm not so sure the Niners are that great at secondary. So I don't hate Burrow this week.
Biggest worst part of their whole team is their secondary.
I don't hate Burrow, but I just think Goff's in a great spot against Vegas.
Full PPR, flex by Aaron Jones or DK Metcalf.
Jones for me.
DK Metcalf probably has the best floor here, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. They have to get him involved. That offense looks god awful. They have to give the playmakers the ball. Aaron Jones and Christian Watson need to get more involved in that offense. They're the big playmakers.
Especially with Jordan Love struggling as much as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones for me as well.
I know Cleveland got shredded by Gardner Minshew last week, but that is who Seattle plays, and they're murder on wide receivers. So I'd like to fade those guys as much as I can.
Okay, before that, Zach Moss, elbow, heel, plans to play in today's game versus Saints. I read it with you guys for the first time, so that's basically what Sully said earlier.
Ooh.
So tell DK Live they're not faster than Sully.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone with Ridley questions, just take the other guy, says Cat. He will let you down.
Not this week, Cat. Hang in there.
Ridley's balling out.
Not this week, Cat.
Hang in there.
Well, Tank Dell, according to the show last night, since Tank Dell never got picked in just about anything, I think he was in 90% of the questions and then did not get picked in 90% of those. He's definitely going to go off this week. If you've got
what wide receiver 1 overall?
Yeah. In a TD heavy league, what 3 wide receivers do you start? Ayuk, London, Flowers, Higgins, JSN, Deontay Johnson, JMO. I want the boom plays. Floor isn't what I need.
Well, Ayuk is the easy one for me.
For me, Ayuk and Flowers are the 2 easy ones.
Yeah, and then I think boom. I could see Higgins booming more than anybody else here. I like London, but I don't think he gets boom type volume because Arthur Smith hates everyone. Yeah, Ayuk, Flowers, Higgins, I believe for me.
That's where I'm at as well. If we're going boom, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. And the floor plays would be definitely different.
And Ayuk says, and Jeff says, I've got Ayuk, London, Flowers. Yeah, I think Higgins has the best shot of booming.
Yeah, they could score. He's got multiple touchdown upside every week.
I want London. Yeah. Well, he's also got 12 target upside to get there, going 9 for 120 too.
Because I think the only game Higgins was good this year, I think Burrow targeted him something ridiculous like 12 or 14 times. So
yeah,
he has that ceiling.
James says, how's it going, fellas? Who should I start as my wide receiver 2? He's got Rashee Rice, Christian Watson, and Tank Dell. Waddle is his number 1, and it's a PPR Superflex league. I think
I'm Rashee Rice here.
Yeah, I think I have Rice highest out of these guys.
Or Tank Dell.
I like Tank Dell here. I really do. Last time Tank Dell got the same opportunity, he went nuts. Like the exact same opportunity where I think Robert Woods was out and he was in that number 2 spot. And that's when he put up like that 30-point game or like 20, mid-20, low 30-point game.
25,
or whatever.
I think he had.
There was a couple of really, really big plays for him in that game, I think, which is not a bad thing, but it's hard to replicate. Rice is one of the leading wide receivers in yards per route run. He's just not running enough routes. That's his biggest challenge right now. But I see that increasing as the season goes on. And Watson, I just don't trust with hamstring or, Jordan Love is the lowest completion percentage in long ball in the NFL right now. So that's where Watson makes his living. So I think I'm Rice. I'd go Rice, Dell, Watson, I think.
I'm Dell, Bryce, Watson.
I'm Rice, Dell, Watson. That's where I'm at as well.
Put 5 on that?
Rice over Dell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll sit this one out. Right. I like Dell a lot too. It's just when I'm picking between those two, they're so close. I'm taking the Hall of Fame quarterback. That's basically my difference maker.
Amen.
CG Stroud will be in that conversation next year. We'll see. I'm just kidding.
Hall of
Next
Fame
year?
guy?
I'm just kidding. I'm not Joe Kidder. I'm not
Quite
Joe
homie.
Kidder. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Wow.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I promise.
What the? Shut the stream down.
Right? That's it. We're out of business.
It's just a joke.
Put RotoHeat in the casket, baby. Morning, fellas. Kirk or Hendo at the flex. Full PPR. I have Keenan and I'm on Ra, and you're going to stay with Kirk.
100%.
Easily.
Yes. I knew we were all going to be on the same page there.
I was surprised how much Hendo you guys liked last night.
Well, the questions, it was just the questions that he was in.
That's fair.
He was the only one guaranteed volume in those. Kirk's getting volume and scoring points, so I'm going Kirk here for sure. Okay, so Marco went to the future, said,
Holy cow.
give me all the running backs that do well, and then I'm going to put them on my team, and then I'm going to make these guys pick one to sit. It's Pacheco for me. I'll start Hall and ETN.
I do think ETN regresses. He's not going to score 2 times every week, but I'll have to sit Pacheco as well.
Yeah, ETN is super touchdown dependent right now. People don't realize that over half his points are coming from touchdowns, which is usually not a good indication on how efficient he is. But Pacheco's got to be sat there out of those 3.
And James says, Marco, definitely not a bad problem to have. And Marco says, no, especially when you've got CMC too. Wish I could go to the future.
Why does everybody's team better than mine? This is brutal.
Those who can't teach.
Right? Those who can't do teach. There you go.
Gus Edwards, Najee, or wait on Palmer for Odie here. Are you going to wait for Palmer, or are you going to start one of these guys? I'm going to start Gus Edwards.
I'm going to wait on Palmer. He did it to us Monday night a couple weeks ago. I think it's the same thing. And
according to Ian Rappaport, he and both Gerald Everett are both questionable, but there's more optimism that Palmer can play. With that being said, I think I'm still going to go with Gus Edwards.
I think Gus Edwards is fool's gold. And Najee is Najee. And I hate, look, if it's a close matchup and you think it's a make or break, then you pick one of those 2 running backs. But if it's not necessarily, I'm going to go with Palmer. I just think Palmer can do more than 1 and 2 plays than both these guys can all game. Gus Edwards had an 80-yard catch. He has 280 yards receiving in his career. 80 of it came on 1 play last week. I just don't think he's as good as we think.
That tells me he can get there on 1 play.
I wanted to say that. I was just like, you know what? I'll let him. Let him get going.
That's a long play, especially how painful though not to get into the end zone on an 80-yard play. That's pain.
Palmer would have scored.
Well, that's fine. I will bet that Palmer has no touchdown of 80 yards or more this week.
I will bet that as well. What a prognosticator you are.
James says probably would say Pacheco. Pacheco is what we thought CEH should have been. And then he says, Marco, bruh, man, you got CMC to go with those guys too? Dennis Stevens says, sup, guys, need help. Half point PPR. Start 3. Bijan Olave, Devonta Smith, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Love Houston matchup, but don't know which of the wide receivers and hoping for big Smith game. Finally, your opinion. Bijan's in there for me.
Yeah.
Olave's in there for me.
Those are the easy ones.
I think it's the first 3 for me.
I feel like if I looked at my rankings, it wouldn't be the same, but I think I'm going Bijan, Olave, and Nico Collins.
I can't argue that.
I'm honestly thinking that exact same thing. The Eagles just have, this is the problem when you have so much talent, is like, even Devontae Smith should be getting a ton of targets. They just don't have to give it to him. And they're not.
I think he's due. He
is due. He is due.
He's getting work. He's just, nothing's really happening. Like, I just think it's going to happen.
This
He
is a
is
good week.
due, but labor might last till week 10, and
yeah,
it doesn't pop till then.
I'm gonna go with Nico as well. I just see a path to more targets is really the thing, and I get touchdown upside might not be as high, but
a little note that AJ Brown has had 5 straight games of 125 or more receiving yards, and that ties the record. So this week may be the week where they still forced it to him a little bit to get him that consecutive game record.
It started with Washington too.
And it started when he was on the sideline yelling at his quarterback, "Throw me the."
Yeah, against Washington, that was the first game that started that streak, and now we're coming full circle.
I think it could still be Smith, and AJ could do that again. I think that Hurts could throw for a pile in this.
I was saying
can't
horrible
fight
things
you guys.
about Arthur Smith last week. Should have told us he was sick.
I think he was hungover.
I still got high score in the Grand Prix, even with Bijan in, so I can't.
That changes the narrative about around Mr. Bijan if he's getting drunk on a Saturday night and hungover on Sunday morning.
I think he was hungover dragging ass. That's my opinion. I have absolutely no sources in Atlanta or anywhere else on the planet for that matter, but that's my gut feel.
Just throwing out character flaws for
just trashing humans. Just trashing humans live on the stream.
James says, "Dude, I hope you're at least 5-2 there, Mr. From the future."
Brando, if he's from the future, he should be undefeated.
Yeah, that seems very weak for being a time traveler.
Right.
Brando says 12-team PPR need 2 flexes: Mixon, Higgins, Stevenson, Pierce, Palmer, Herbert, Diggs, AJ Brown. Wait,
he has Herbert, Diggs, AJ Brown, Pollard, Pacheco, Kittle starting.
I was reading that like, what is going on here? Your team's too good.
Yeah, pick 2 of Mixon, Higgins. Okay.
Stevenson, because he's caught, I think, 5 or more passes 3 weeks in a row. So that's always nice. Be great if he didn't average 3.1 yards per carry.
That would be great.
Has been better the past 2 weeks, though, but that means he's raised it to 3.1.
The Patriots will start winning for no reason right now. Watch.
Not this week.
I don't know.
Well, that's what we said the last time, and then they ended up
not me. I said this is gonna be that week they win for no good reason.
Even when the Patriots were good, they struggled to win in Miami. So,
but it seems like they always 50-50 split with Miami, and so.
Well, you nailed it last week. You're like, there's some the crappy teams will win this week, and they all did. So
remember that Kenyon Drake.
Yes.
Last second.
I turned the game off. I went to another game, and then I saw they lost. I'm like, what the did I just miss?
that was awesome. Stevenson and Mixon for me.
I think so, too. I want to say Pierce, but I can't get there. It's Stevenson and Mixon for me.
I kept having it on the tip of my tongue as well for Pierce.
It is Stevenson and Mixon for me.
Oh, we talked so much I forgot you hadn't answered yet. Sorry.
Okay. I was debating on taking Pacheco out and potentially going like a wide receiver but I still would have had Pacheco in there, so it didn't matter for me.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I was like,
he's been such a solid play this year. 15 points every week.
Rest of season, Cat wants to know: do we keep Justice Hill, Jeff Wilson, Dalvin Cook? Or are they all worth keeping for now?
Dalvin hasn't been worth keeping for weeks, and you can easily drop him. I don't even care if he gets traded. Justice Hill, I think, is worth holding on to, but I'm going to keep Jeff Wilson here because I think he's 1 or 2 injuries away from being the lead running back in the most electric offense I've seen in my life. So, Wilson for me.
Justice Hill is probably the most valuable rest of the season for me. I mean, once Devin Achane comes back, Jeff Wilson might not see any carries every week or just consistently see 1 or 2. Dalvin Cook would need to get traded to get some value. And Justice Hill is in a situation
this
where
guy hates Dalvin Cook.
He's terrible.
If he gets traded, he's got value. He's definitely Jeff Wilson's the only one.
Who does he get traded to where he has value in place? Seriously.
Buffalo.
His brother is better than he is. By a long shot right now.
I think James Cook looks pretty good. I just don't think he gets the ball enough, to be honest. But I know Rick is not.
Latavius Murray's better than Dalvin Cook.
Latavius Murray looks as good as James Cook does, and he gets the ball in the red zone,
not
which
quite.
is way better.
James is shifty.
Fantasy-wise, yeah, absolutely. Now, Dalvin looks like he's dragging something. He looks awful.
But sometimes I feel like those older backs need to get like a rhythm. Like, Zeke, I feel like that's what Zeke looked like last year. And then now he's in a situation where he gets like 10 to 12 carries, and he's actually got some fantasy value with that type of usage.
Dalvin Cook's only been healthy for like 2 weeks, too. It's only been like 2 weeks since he said that he was fully back. So that's another thing.
That's fair. I don't know if Dalvin Cook's been fully healthy his entire college or professional career, and he's still produced.
Well, I mean,
I hear you.
Jeff Wilson got 1 carry last week with Raheem Mostert healthy and Salvin Ahmed healthy. When Achane is healthy, he's literally getting nothing.
We're just making the assumption that Achane's coming back, and we don't know that. And Mostert isn't the picture of health. He's questionable on a weekly basis and been hurt a lot too. So,
I mean, okay. Panthers might start regretting paying Sanders that money. I think they already do regret it.
Yeah, I don't think they got to start.
The only offseason team that did pay any running back, and they probably shouldn't have.
Detroit did.
True.
Not a lot, though, did they? Didn't Carolina pay more than – I thought he got like 5.
Monty's wasn't a huge deal. Sanders.
I thought it was about $5 million a year, and Sanders was six and change or something.
Well, I'll have to look. I thought Monty got the biggest running back contract in the offseason.
He may have. That was a good signing, though. He just needs to stay healthy.
Marco says Dotson, Reed, Jamo, Addison, Sky, Wandale, Dell. Start 3. Addison's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Dell.
Yep. I'm going to go Dotson. Curtis Samuel a little banged up this week. Maybe a Dotson week here. So I'll go with him. Please let it be a Dotson week this week.
Eagles secondary has been god awful.
I'm
going to go Dell, Addison. Those are the easy 2, and then it's between Wandale and Dotson for me. I'll go with Dotson as well. Last time they played, Sam Howell threw for a ton of yards, and it was a really good game. So hope for that again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just wondering about Reed if Musgrave doesn't go. He's probably too far. Sorry.
He just shows the worst time, like AB pause for you, and as soon as he goes.
Brees is back, so Dalvin's value has dropped significantly. Keaton Mitchell might be the next guy up, so I'm kind of iffy on Hill. I want any piece of Miami's offense, honestly. I mean, I feel the same way, but Jeff Wilson, if he was going to get an opportunity, seems like last week would have been a good one to get it, but I don't know. Could be DeMercado from week 6.
It was also his first game back off of IR as well, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
this week will be more telling than the last week, is all I'm saying.
But I mean, it's just long term.
It was rest of season too. That's why
I'm on Wilson, because I think he has the best opportunity rest of season if stars align. That's why.
Fair enough.
Christian Watson or Deontay Johnson? Deontay for me.
Deontay for me.
Same for me. Welcome back, Lex.
Marco from the future says Pollard, Stevenson, Rodriguez, McLaughlin, Freeman, start 2. Pollard and Stevenson.
What's he even asking?
Now he's just messing with us.
I'm worried that Rodriguez is going to mess up that backfield, but it's easily those first 2.
Good morning, gentlemen. DJ Moore or Jordan Addison, full PPR? Jordan Addison.
Yep.
I'm going DJ Moore.
Whoa, I'm putting 5 on that.
Yeah, I'll even do 5 on that. We got Noodle Arm that gets replaced for Nathan Peterman. Throwing the ball. He can't throw it far enough.
So I trade for DJ Moore last week, and then Badgett plays, and I look at Badgett's stats, and I'm like, oh, God. And then I see DJ Moore had like 400 catches for 50 yards or something.
9 catches for 54 yards.
There's perfect DPR week for me.
I will take that again. I'll take the 9 catches. I bet he gets more than 54 next time. That's the only reason he was peppering him like I thought, just didn't really make any plays out of it.
So if there's any Chicago Bears fans listening right now, other than Rick, what are you people doing talking about making this guy your starting quarterback? Like, what in the world is happening?
Don't include me in that conversation.
I said other than you. I'm not including you in that.
I'm just making sure because the whole it is bad. People don't know football. That's the key, right? Like most people
I guess
are casual fans.
He's one, and well, I don't know. I don't see any way in the world
it's the people that don't know football that make the most noise. Like once here in
That's
Ohio,
fair.
like when the Bengals started off horrible, they were like, "Why did we pay Joe Burrow?" I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you not watch the last 2 seasons, dude? Like, dude took you to the Super Bowl with no offensive line. He starts every season off bad. So just chill out.
Here's the deal.
Or paid him.
Bajent is 1-0 as a starter. Yeah. The defense gave up 12 points. Do you know what Fields' record would be if the Bears only gave up 12 points every week? He'd be pretty damn good. He'd have a pretty damn good record. The problem is
800 winning percentage.
Yeah. The problem is the Bears went 14 straight games giving up 25 or more while averaging giving up 33 plus. It's hard to win games when your defense gives up 33 plus points per game.
Yeah.
It is very difficult.
Same thing.
Fields, when he scores 25 or more, is only, I think, 2-5. To put that into perspective, Trevor Lawrence has scored over 25 9 times. Like, it's more likely that Fields is going to do that on a percentage basis, except for he's 9-0 when he does it.
It's crazy, eh?
Addison, Lockett, Samuel, Atwell, start 1. Addison. And that fly.
I was like, oh, he's freaking out.
Rick spazzed out.
There's somebody over Tyler Lockett.
Hey, it hasn't been the same old Lockett here lately.
He's not healthy, and he's got a
JSN looked good last week. Hopefully that.
I think that's starting to come. Like we said, rookies after bye weeks, right? Here we go.
Yep. Patty says trade away Jones for Mixon or Jones for Gibbs. PPR, and I'm 2-5. Need a win. I'm keeping Jones in this scenario because Monty's going to be back. That's going to hurt Gibbs. And then I just think Aaron Jones is a bigger part of the Packers offense than Mixon is going forward the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely don't want Gibbs in any situation where you need to win the rest of the year unless David Montgomery was out for the year. But, you know, it's hard to say because Joe Mixon does get a lot of touches, and he's had a nice floor this year, but he's not winning you any weeks. And if you're 2-5, you need week winners. And I think Aaron Jones gives you the best opportunity for that. So I'm keeping Aaron Jones. I know he's disappointed you so far, but hopefully this is the week he starts to turn it around for your team. Sully.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. So Joe Mixon hasn't done that all season. He did that all last season as well, right? If you take out the game where he scored 4 times, he was a rather pedestrian type of running back. So Aaron Jones just needs to get going and get healthy. Gibbs, I like, but not in a redraft format. I think Aaron Jones is your probably your safest floor and highest ceiling out of all 3 of these players. So that's where I'm going.
Domo says pick 2 for the flex: George Pickens, Gus Edwards, Darrell Henderson, Calvin Ridley, and D-Hop. Which 2 are you going to start, Bryce?
Do we know who the Titans are rolling out at quarterback this week? Is it Malik Willis?
Both. It's Levis starting with Willis guest starring, I guess you could call it. It's going to be a shit show.
I don't hate that approach for them because now they're seeing what they got. That makes sense because they know what they got in Willis. Now they're going to try and see what they got.
Look, we have 2 guys that suck.
And Levis, yeah, which is possible, but this makes it to where
there's 3 guys that suck.
This gives them complete clarity on if they need to obviously draft a quarterback, which they probably do. So Calvin Ridley is the first one here for sure, and then I want to go with D-Hop because he's the best player, and I feel like any quarterback that goes in for their first start is going to pepper their best receiver, like we saw with Bajent do with DJ Moore. So I would imagine D-Hop gets over 10 targets today with those guys trying to prove themselves. So I guess I'll go with DeAndre Hopkins. I can't fault you if you want to go with either of the running backs if you want probably a safer floor, though. Sully?
I want nothing to do with DeAndre Hopkins this week, and everywhere I have him, he's on my bench. I have Calvin Ridley and George Pickens here.
That is who I believe I have. Where did
I think the worst thing that Tennessee can do is rotate these guys. Like, pick one and let him see if he can get a rhythm going.
Yeah.
And
I would
go the other way.
just started Levis, and then if he
I think you have to. We already know Malik Willis isn't a starting quarterback. He could probably be a complimentary guy, but pick a freaking quarterback. They suck.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Going back and forth, nobody gets in a rhythm. One might have a connection with this wide receiver and the other one with this one, and what they do get, that's craziness at the professional.
I want to see them get in a fight on the sidelines today. Both quarterbacks get mad at each other and get in a fight. That's what I want.
Just fight to the death, and then the other one gets the start.
Will Levis is pretty big. That would be interesting.
Malik's got some girth to him as well. They're both big boys.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, pause, as they say.
Settle down.
Girth.
Next.
You couldn't have said any other word.
He said girth. How's girth the word that you picked?
Hey, you guys want to go there, you go there, but I don't know. Next question.
So sometimes when you're live, shit just comes out, and you're like, no. Should have used a different word. Gotcha.
I'm gonna use girth at least 3 more times today now.
Gotcha. Higgins over London, I can see on a boom week.
Boom.
Need a running back too. Aaron Jones or Henderson. Aaron Jones by a lot for me.
Yes, easily.
Even easier than the others two. Yep. A lot of girth there.
Oh, God. What other words are we going to use?
Yeah, tell me. Let me know.
Moist?
No, that's a terrible word. It's just gross, dude.
That's only should be used for like cookies.
Chocolate cake, I think.
Cake. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
When I find a play that I really like here, it's going to be dubbed the moist play of the week.
Gross. It's just gross.
You got to trademark that.
This show's gone to shit.
James says full PPR, wide receiver, and a flex. Should I play Ridley or Dell?
How do I have this ranked?
I'm pretty sure I have Ridley ahead.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm going to play Ridley here for sure.
They're close, though. But
I just like Dell. I like Dell this week a lot.
I think Ridley could have a bit of a bounce back.
Cat might fire us.
Cat's gonna fight me, but yeah, I'm on Ridley this week.
Marco said I got really lucky in that draft with running backs.
You think?
That's the one I remember, yeah. Running for Miles Sanders week. Icy Hype says Devonta Smith or Ridley. Both have amazing matchups. Can't choose between the two.
I'm Smith 4 spots over Ridley.
I have Ridley at 52 and Devonta Smith at 50. So I've got them right there together as well. With Smith just slightly ahead. But
so they're probably back to back in your wide receiver rankings then, most likely, right?
Let's see.
I'm going Ridley.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I just have a really good feeling this is a bounce back week for Ridley. He's going to get 17 or more.
I like that call. I just think it's about that big for both.
Definitely could be one of those big weeks for both of them. We got a super chat. Sorry.
Oh,
you 2 weeks along.
Damn.
Welcome back.
Welcome back for week 3. No question. Just telling us that we are 0-2.
Maybe he's tanking, and that's why he came back this week.
You're welcome.
Well, no, I don't know that he's back. I think he just came to let us know I'm 0-2 when listening to you guys. Sorry. Super chat.
Taylor.
Sweet. Taylor.
Taylor Meredith dropping those super chats on a semi-weekly basis. We appreciate you. Am I wrong? Sitting Olave, Hollywood Flowers, starting Jacoby in London in PPR. I think Jacoby and Olave are the two to start out of this group.
I agree.
I second that.
With Flowers a close third. Damn, dude, is this one of my leagues? Because this seems like I shouldn't have let this happen.
So Carr started the season with 300 yards against the Jags. Then he had 353 against Houston. Then he got hurt. And now he's getting a little bit healthier, and he had 305 against Tennessee. I think Carr's going to be fine. And Olave is his first target, other than Alvin Kamara, who gets 28 targets a game. But I can't sit Olave here. I just can't. But I would absolutely go Jacoby and Olave. I agree with you guys.
Cat says, burn out the day, bring the heat, have a roto-tacular weekend.
I like it.
I love it. Marco says, drop Stafford for Bryce Young.
Absolutely 100% not a chance. Why would you do that? Seriously. Why would you do that?
Because maybe it's a dynasty.
Bryce,
if it's a dynasty league, Bryce is not on waivers in the dynasty league.
There's no way, yeah.
No, there's no way.
I was just giving a reason of what.
I hear you, but no. I'm not so sure Bryce. I'm not so sure I want Bryce over Stafford in dynasty either.
Oh yeah, you do. Don't go there.
I'm not sure this guy's a starting quarterback. Nothing I've seen yet.
Yeah, but we know Stafford's not a starting quarterback in a couple of years. We know for a fact he's not.
No, but I think I could trade Stafford for more in the offseason than Bryce Young. But maybe not.
Oh, no, not yet. Maybe after next year if it's that.
Yeah, bad. You're right. 1 or 2 more years. Anyway, no. Oh. Marco, come on.
No.
Pick
one, Rashee Rice, Dobbs, or Hopkins.
I'm on Rice here.
I got doubts on Dobbs.
Oh, that's funny. Look at you go.
That's like the most clever you've ever been.
That's not bad. He saw this in the comments coming. He said, I can't wait for this question.
I didn't see it.
He probably, and somebody else that we're going to get to probably said what he said, and he's taking
right.
No, you go and look.
Check the tape.
I'm going Rashee Rice.
I'm going DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, I hope you're right.
I just imagine he gets so many targets.
KJ says
this is a good one.
I think you might be able to get 20 targets from Will Levis and literally still not be a startable fantasy asset.
No, come on. He gets 20 targets. That's a definite. You're starting that dude every day.
Dude, Will Levis couldn't even take the snap in training camp.
He's going to light it up today.
And Malik Willis won't throw.
He won't.
But KJ wants to know, Dodds Foreman, Roshan Johnson, or Chuba Hubbard? Which one are you going with there, Sully?
Roshan Johnson, and it's not really that close for me. I think he's going to have a really nice week.
And
yeah, I definitely wish we had some clarity on the usage, but I'm just going to refer back to how they had the depth chart prior to the injuries, and I'll go with Roshan Johnson here as well.
Yeah, I just think they're going to run enough because Badgett is the quarterback to – I mean, they try to run anyway, but this guy can't throw.
And that's better for Roshan anyway, too, isn't he? He's a more natural pass catcher.
Yep.
He's awesome pass pro. Like, he's just going to be on the field.
Foreman or Mixon, non-PPR. This is going to be Mixon, Demetrios. Mixon by a long shot.
Mixon for me. Easy.
Yeah.
Wait, you sounded like you might not be.
There's something about Joe Mixon I just don't like, but I can't get away from the fact that he probably touches the ball 20 times, so it has to be Mixon. The non-PPR part gave me a slight pause.
Thanks, fellas. It's a bit of a tough choice. It always is. Fantasy's a pain in the ass.
Sure is.
That's where I'm at week 8. What about you guys?
I'm having an okay year, but I'm still frustrated.
I'm always frustrated. Bijan or Jacoby Myers in a PPR league?
Bijan.
Bijan, but I'm trying to get
This
Jacoby
shouldn't be
Myers.
hard, but I'm going to say Bijan as well, but I would not even be remotely surprised if Jacoby Myers outpaces him. I'm really worried that by him having his illness last week and Cordell Patterson getting 10 carries, that we might see some weird ass 3-headed backfield in Atlanta, because that's an Arthur Smith thing to do.
Jacoby Myers this season, 29.1 fantasy points, 15.5, 5.3, 20.5, 17.1, and 18. He's been damn good. I'm trying to find a way to get him in my lineup, but I'm not sitting Bijan, even though they don't add him to the injury report when he's sick, and then we all get screwed and people freak out and lose their minds.
There was a tweet on Twitter or X or whatever we're supposed to call it. Someone said, if Arthur Smith went hunting, he'd dress up as a deer just because that's not what you're supposed to do. I loved it.
John says, pick 2 in half PPR. Metcalf versus Browns, Mixon, Deonta Foreman, Josh Downs. Pick 2? Mixon and Metcalf for me.
Mixon and Metcalf for me.
Mixon and Downs for me.
James Harrington says Dell or Ridley at flex. I think we all had Ridley on the last time we got this right.
We did.
Yep. I'm glad you guys remember that stuff, so I'm not allowed to contradict myself. It's perfect.
Philip V says, sup, Marco? Jonathan says, what's up, guys? Aaron Jones or Damian Pierce? Full PPR. Oof. Aaron Jones for me.
Aaron Jones for me.
I think I have it ranked that way. I just need to look. Man, Aaron Jones is my 20th ranked running back, and Pierce is my 23rd, so I'll go Aaron Jones as well.
Philip says 420 crew.
Yeah, we'll see how the day goes. Maybe.
Billy says I'd go Dell personally. And Be Cool wants to know CJ or Tua. Tua for me.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 guys I start over Tua, but that's it. CJ isn't one of them, so Tua for me.
Yeah, it's Tua. Lost our cornerback to shut down that hindered Tyreek Hill last time. He probably has a heyday today.
Billy says, y'all trade London and Dell for Myers? ?
No.
If this is like a redraft league where one of those guys is, Dell's usually on your bench, and London's usually a starter, I think Myers' rest of the season is more valuable than either of those guys in your lineup. So I could see why that'd be beneficial. So yes, I would.
Man, I want to get Myers wherever I can. I
have Jacoby Myers in so many leagues.
I don't think I can London and Dell for him, though. I don't think I can do both.
Whenever I'm giving up 2 guys for one, it needs to be a pretty big difference between one of the guys on each side. And I don't think there's as big a difference between Myers and London as it looks like right now. So I would not do that.
The 17 Kyle says Komet probably going to steal some targets because he was low last week. He definitely could.
He needs Justin Fields back.
They all do.
That's fair. Except for DJ.
They all do. Do what?
DJ Moore's fine. He's just going to get 100 catches for 62 yards.
Well, yeah, but his ceiling's like half of what it is with Fields.
Without that whole offense's ceiling is.
That'd be 106 points.
What?
If you got 100 catches, 62 yards, it'd be 106 points. That's a lot of points.
Bryce is on fire today. Not bad for a guy who woke up 5 minutes before we started doing this. Marco's saying hi back to Philip, his 420 crew buddy. No, he's not.
I just didn't know how we doubled DJ Moore's stats.
God, you gotta keep up, Rick, man.
No, Bryce it should be. It should be
on it with the math.
It should be half, not double.
I was exaggerating for effect, is what I was doing.
Yeah, So I was being a smart ass by saying, "Oh, that's 106 fantasy points. He gets 100
I'm
catches."
pretty sure he's not going to have 100 catches today.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
On the season?
50-point game he had.
Oh,
No.
That's what I thought you were talking about. Gotcha.
I played against.
Okay,
I played against him
Miles
that week.
Sanders droppable? And the answer
Absolutely
is
not.
no, not at this point.
No team starting running back is droppable.
This is I really think this is the first time all year like he hasn't had anything going on after he got some rest and healed up. But will Jones ever be off snap count?
I think yes. I think he will. Might even be this week. But I think that's a great question and an incredibly valid point. But I do think he will be.
Ronald says, as a Bears fan, I still love Fields. Jalen Warren or Foreman?
Warren.
Foreman for me.
Like it.
Marco says, Rodriguez, Samuel, Lockett, Freeman, McLaughlin. Start one for the flex.
Lockett.
Yeah, it's Lockett or Samuel here. Lockett for me.
Yeah, Samuel's a good one.
Oh, wait.
What's going on with Rodriguez? Is Brian Robinson's playing, right?
Yeah, but Rodriguez is all of a sudden, and he's terrible. Like the film I watched on him, I thought he was awful. But anyway, I guess I'm wrong again. But he started getting some shares of touches in that offense, and all reports are that that's going to continue to grow as the season moves forward. That's another guy. If Jeff,
good season for Kentucky.
Hey, Bryce, you're not doing your job.
Well, we got another one. I'm at the bottom, aren't I? Oh, what?
I think Antonio Gibson, to start off the show, we talked about running backs that could get traded and be in a good spot. He's another one that needs to get the hell out of Washington.
Oh, yep, not. Jeesh, we are so far down.
Good, I don't have a job around here.
Who has more touches, Sully, Akers, or Madison?
Game script will absolutely depend on this one. I really feel this is a trap game for the Vikings in which they might get punched in the mouth a little bit here. So I still think it's Madison, but it's going to be really, really close. Akers is, I think, slowly starting to take over, but I think it's still, if I had to bet who has more touches this week, it's still Alexander Madison, but rest of season, it's Cam Akers.
I agree.
Yep, I'll follow that logic.
Boom.
They're both good, though.
I'm gonna be right back, guys. Give me a few minutes.
Good. I'm gonna go when you get back. All right. So you'll have to keep an eye at the bottom of the chat for any.
Oh shit! I got a job.
I thought it would just. I thought it would just like follow down there with me, so I have to do it myself. Somebody said lag. Jason said lag. Yeah, stream's pretty full, so it sometimes gets a.
Okay, I'm down at the bottom. Down at the bottom. He's back.
You can also watch on the StreamYard up in the top right corner where it says starred.
Does it start automatically?
Yeah, it automatically stars them, but you have to just pay attention to that.
Sweet. Okay, I'll have that up from now on. You say we have another one, or
I'll keep down at the bottom just to be on the safe side.
Okay. All right. Derrick Henry at QB. That's funny. Well, we'll probably see that. There's a good chance we might see it a couple times today on those little Wildcat things they do.
I might $5 bet that Derrick Henry has the most passing touchdowns for the Tennessee Titans today.
You can put that one on DraftKings. Get you. Oh, you probably can't even do that in Canada.
Yeah, we can. We can bet way easier in Canada than you guys can down there.
Yeah, we can. In Ohio, it's pretty nice now.
That's good. But yeah, we can do anything in Canada. Nobody gives a shit up here about anything. So.
Only start one. Are you starting DeMarcado over Miles Sanders? I'm assuming Chuba's out of this one.
I think I'm just going to look real quick. I think I have DeMarcado ranked the highest out of them all. Back to back. DeMarcado 29, Sanders 30, Hubbard 33. So give me DeMarcado.
Marco from the future said, Will Levis is like Gus Edwards, fake fool's gold. Does that mean it's real fool's gold? That's a double negative, Marco. Come on.
That is Marco. So Will Levis is a future Hall of Famer. Marco said it here.
That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Oh, when we're talking about him fighting, Malik's got that reach.
That's true.
Yeah. And also, Will Levis does kind of look like he's not much of a confrontational guy.
I have a different word for it that I'll keep to myself, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Starts with a P.
Sure does.
Pick 3. Bijan, Barkley, JT, Kenneth Walker, Najee, or Brees. What an absolute what nonsense is this?
Disgustingly awesome.
What are you on a 2-man league?
right?
Um,
Brees. I think I'm Brees, Walker, and Taylor here. What world is it that I'm sitting Bijan and Saquon? But I think I am.
I think I'm going. Oh my goodness, I don't even.
And in all due respect to these guys, Najee shouldn't be on that list,
Yeah, he's a light year away.
right?
Okay, so definitely not having Bijan in with the rest of these guys. It's coming down to who am I sitting between Barkley, JT, Kenneth Walker, and Brees. I'm not sitting Brees. I'm not sitting. I honestly am debating on sitting. Oh my gosh, I think I'm just gonna sit Kenneth Walker. I don't know.
I was
Barkley
banged
can
up
just
all
get it
week,
all in
so
one. He can just get it all in one play. All these guys can, but I feel like Barkley's got that huge PPR upside that I don't want to shy away from. Gardner Minshew dumps it down to the running backs like crazy, so JT has that value. And Brees Hall might be the best running back on this list,
I
which
was
is
really
crazy.
wrong about him. He's so good.
Oh, another word that
That
we
is a
should
good
put in
word.
there.
Save that one for when Rick comes back.
Yep. And he was saying pick Dell over
Yep.
I think
It was
Ridley.
Yes, it was.
And he said, "Damn son." I think he said that right after that dude said he's 0-2 after watching us. So well, sorry. We usually just try and put stuff in here.
You can watch any for 2 weeks and you may or may not get the advice you're looking for. But here's the thing, and has always been the way I feel, is until I start paying your league dues, make your own decisions. Like make an educated choice, have a process and follow it. There are 100 times
and he's
frozen. Make it wrong.
Oh, you froze there for a second.
I just got all upset. Sorry.
This is a good question here, though. Kylie, looking for a cheap value play. Who do you think has the highest ceiling between Shaheed, Agnew, and Bourne? And I'll go first. I think it's Bourne. Here. I mean, the ceiling play, you could argue Shaheed, but it just like he's getting the third most targets on his team, where Kendrick Bourne is getting a lot. We've seen Kendrick Bourne find the end zone several times this year. He gets looked at in the red zone. He coming off a really good week last week, and they're going to have to throw a lot today to probably keep up with that Miami offense. So Kendrick Bourne might find himself in a really good spot to get a lot of targets and have a really good value as a flex play this week.
I agree. It's funny. Jamal Agnew's puzzling to me because it seems whenever anybody's out for the Jags, Agnew plays, but he's incredibly relevant in the offense. Like Jamal Agnew returns kicks when everybody's healthy, and that's it. But when somebody's out, all of a sudden he's an 8 to 10 target guy, and he's getting a ton of yards and has a chance to score. I think all three of these guys have a really nice boom ceiling to them, but I think Bourne probably has more of a every snap count chance of seeing a target. Do you think he gets traded or could get traded?
No, I think Bill O'Brien loves him, and he's our best wide receiver at this point. Honestly, I think Demario Douglas is a guy that people should keep an eye on their waiver wire.
He sure looked good last week.
He gets the most separation on that team. I don't know why he's not getting on the field more. I think moving forward the rest of the season, he's a guy to keep a lookout on, because he could also be a volume play for potential flex options moving forward. But he's got to have that week to get on people's radars. But maybe if you got a spot, get him before that happens, if you don't have like good waiver wire priority.
It's a shifty little dude.
Yep, I'm gonna use the restroom. Go ahead, Rick.
I agree with Bourne here. And to remind everybody, we are about 20 minutes behind on the questions in the chat, but you only got to ask once. We will get to them in order. If you want to jump the line, you have to super chat and you can jump the line. And then if you would like and subscribe, that would be awesome. No rules today says, hey guys, should I start Kittle or Goddard? And I'm on the Goddard side on this one.
I'm fairly certain I am too.
I just remember because we had this exact question last night.
I'm 2 spots higher.
They're close though. They are really close. But I'm Goddard.
Yeah. Goddard's rolling right now. I love it.
Zabby says half PPR in a hole from Thursday night. Flex need one. Edwards, Flowers, London, T. Higgins, or Kareem Hunt. Which one you going with, Sully?
I'm going to go with Zay Flowers here.
Yep, Flowers is going to be my highest rated to London. Yeah. Yep, I'm on Flowers as well. I guess I should check. Yeah. Yep. Here's a fun one. I need 2 running backs of the following: Charbonnet, DeMercado, Zeke Elliott, Royce Freeman, or Elijah Mitchell. DeMercado stands out to me as the obvious. And then I'm probably going Zeke Elliott after that. What about you, Sully?
Agree. DeMarcado by a long shot over all of these guys, and then Zeke gets goal line work and is catching some passes. So yeah, I think it's Zeke.
Yeah, DeMercado is the easy one here, and then Zeke's got the best chance, I feel like, of falling in the end zone out of the rest of these guys.
Pats are rolling now, scoring tons of points.
Their offense hasn't been god awful except for like 2 or 3 games. It's just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't watch a whole lot of Patriots games, but I watched it all last week. I watched it all last week for some fantasy reason. I don't know why, but Mac Jones looked really good.
Best game of his career, I think, statistically.
In this Dynasty League, Bryce Young is actually available. This is why I asked I should mention it's a Dynasty.
Then yes.
Yeah, then I would drop Stafford for Bryce Young. Unless you need Stafford to win this year, because he is going to score more points, but I'd rather have Bryce Young in a Dynasty League.
How is he available in a Dynasty League?
Maybe they're playing in the future, and you were
10 man, 1 quarterback.
Right. 17 Cal says snow in Denver might mess up the throws. So now we're getting conflicting messages in the chat about the snow.
Don't worry about snow. Worry about wind. Snow is actually advantageous for the offense. If I'm running towards you in a snow-covered field and I know I'm going left and you have to adjust to that, your footing is way less stable than mine. The offense will benefit from snow over the defense most times. Wind is the killer. So if it's not windy, don't worry about it.
And last night, from what we found, looked like about 9 miles an hour, which isn't enough to
that's not
ruin a passing game.
Not that quarterback. The other one maybe, but I doubt it.
Miles Sanders, Chuba, or DeMercado? Which one are you starting out of these? This is a good one, Smooth Blue. Sully, who you going with? I
think I had DeMercado ranked highest. I think we just had this, didn't we?
Yeah.
I have DeMercado 1 spot higher than Sanders and 3 spots higher than Chuba. So that's where I'm going.
Yep, DeMercado for me.
Same.
Don't let me down.
Same with me. Man, it makes me so nervous being on DeMercado after 2 weeks ago. Feel like they're just gonna pull the rug out from under us, but that's where I
know. Hate it.
Lex says Roshan, Ridley, or Stevenson. Oh, Roshan, Ridley, Stevenson. We need to sit one. Which one are you sitting out of these 3, Bryce?
I'm sitting Roshan Johnson. I feel like the work between the other 2 are too reliable until we see what this offense is like with Roshan and Deontay Foreman, who comes off a big week. We'll see if if it's more of like a 50. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a 50-50 or even like a 55-45 kind of split this week.
I'm with Bryce.
I am too. I have a feeling Ridley's going to be the answer to that, though, and it's going to be pain.
Ding, ding, at the bottom of the chat.
We do have a super chat.
Okay, we'll answer this one real quick, and then we'll get that. Thanks for your expertise, guys. PPR, Henry, Palmer, or Deontay Johnson?
If I knew Palmer was playing, that would be my answer. But there's a little bit of pause there because he might not. So it being PPR with Deontay Johnson getting the volume that he gets, I'm going to go here. I worry about that Tennessee offense in general. So Deontay for me. Bryce?
Yeah, the offense. The problem with the offense too is you would think, okay, Henry's going to get a ton of work today because of the quarterback situation, but this is a terrible matchup for that to have to happen. But I think I'm still gonna go with Henry. He could have a nice floor play today because I do see him getting the most touches out of these guys. Being a running back, you expect that. But if I wanted more of a ceiling play, I think I would go with Deontay Johnson. So we'll chalk it up to floor and ceiling play there. Rick.
I'm going Deontay here as well. I have him one spot ahead of Henry in my rankings, and then Palmer a few behind them. If Palmer was 100%, I'd probably pick him, but
I would too.
One PPR. We need one out of Rice, Sutton, Watson, Quentin Johnston, Jamison Williams, and drop Quentin Johnston or Jay Williams for Foreman or stay put. So which one are you starting, Sully, out of that group?
Oh, I think he is muted or can't hear him, but he I know he said Rice. Oh, there you go.
Rice.
Yep.
Having some headphone issues at the moment. It's always something up here in this great country.
I am going Rashee Rice here as well.
I've got Cortland Sutton ranked the highest out of these guys, so I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton. And then are you going to drop Quentin Johnston or Jamison Williams for Foreman?
I am.
Which one?
Quentin.
You make me so proud.
I definitely could see dropping Quentin Johnston for Foreman. Have no problem with that. I have honestly no problem with you keeping him either, but not Jamison
I would drop
Williams.
them. To put it in context, I'd drop them both if I had to.
Yeah. Jamison Williams did have 6 targets last week. Didn't do anything with them. But still 6 targets is the most he's seen so far in his career, which is a good sign in the potential usage that we might see.
And they were down 35-0. That might have something to do with it.
True. But it was nice to see him get that many targets at least.
Williams' upside's too much for me to drop him for Foreman, especially with Herbert coming back later and Roshan there. Quentin Johnston has got less work since Mike Williams got injured than he got before. So that's weird. And I never liked him anyway. So I'll drop Quentin Johnston for Foreman, but best defense to start this week. What did I have? Philly number 1. I think Philly was my number 1 defense this week. I'm pulling it up right now.
Mine too.
Yes, Philly is the best for me. Osborne or Aaron Jones and a half PPR from Mo Diesel.
Aaron Jones for me.
Aaron Jones for me. Sully nods his head. Yes. Marco said, I can't start Cowboys or Steelers. Yeah, Philly's number 1 for me. Dexter says, pick 2, Ayuk, Collins, Rice, Ridley, PPR. I'm going Ayuk and Collins.
Ayuk's easy for me. I'm going to stick with my guns and go with this Ridley bounce back week. Ayuk and Ridley.
I need to see who I have higher between Ridley and Collins. I have Collins higher. So I guess that's my answer. Ayuk and Collins.
Noise. Pick 1, Darrell Henderson, Drake London, or Calvin Ridley for Mr. Jason Hinkle. London
for me.
Ridley for me.
Yeah, it's Ridley for me as well. I just really see that bounce back week coming. I'm not going to say that anymore. I feel like I've said it 20 times.
Jeff Johnson says, hey, guys, pick 1 for the flex. Walker, Flowers, Pickens, also Waller or Laporta.
Ooh, I have the same tight end question. Thank you, Jeff Johnson.
Walker's the easy one for me in the flex.
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. Kenneth Walker, yeah.
And then
Waller or Laporta.
Waller sure has looked better the last.
He's getting a lot of targets. I mean, if you look last week, he had He's coming off 8, 7, and 11 targets. So he's definitely getting involved in the offense.
Tarad is his best friend.
Yeah.
I have them back to back, and I have Laporta higher, the choice I have to make, and not to take away from Jeff's question, but mine's in a guillotine league, and I don't know what to do. I have Laporta right now, but I might change it.
I have Laporta one spot ahead too.
So I just don't know.
I'll go with Waller. I feel like it's a no. Either way is a good choice, and I'm sure one will disappoint you.
And when I was looking at it earlier this week, the one spot the Jets aren't the greatest in pass coverage is the tight end position, but I say that without knowing if they've really played anybody good. We all know that the Jets have great corners, so maybe that, and the Giants really don't have wide receivers, so I think I'm talking myself into Waller here the more I go, so I think I will flippity floppity and go with Waller here.
I'm not going to argue against it, so you won't get any pushback from me. I'm fine with either of these guys for sure. They are number 4 and 5 in my rankings. So
exactly the same as my rankings. Yep.
Lex says, drop Charbonnet or Spears for Miles Sanders, Boyd or Jamison Williams. Don't need any position, just a stash in a 10-man league. So out of all these, which one are you stashing, Sully?
I think I'm like Miles Sanders is probably the one that you should have, but if you're not currently starting Miles Sanders and it's just a stash, I might stash Spears because I think he has a higher boom ceiling if everything fell in place. I have a hard time dropping Miles Sanders or dropping either one of those guys though.
Yeah, I just like if Derrick Henry gets traded, Spears immediately has way more value than Miles Sanders rest of season is the issue.
And if Kenneth Walker gets hurt, I think Charbonnet has more value too, right? So
yeah. There's but and then the second part of the question, Boyd is he drop Charbonnet or Spears for Miles Sanders, Boyd or JMO? Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to probably both of those running backs, I think.
If I have to win, I'll drop probably Charbonnet for Sanders. I don't want either one of those wide receivers though.
That's where I'm at. If I have to get a running back to play, then I'll drop Charbonnet for Sanders. But I really don't want to do that as well.
Dog agrees.
Nick says, should I start Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, or McLaurin at the flex in a full PPR? Bryce, who you gonna start here?
Give me Scary Terry today. They're going to have to throw. Last time they were successful, Eagles secondary has been doo-doo this year. Terry McLaurin's kind of been solid the past few weeks, getting a lot of targets, just hasn't found the end zone. So give me Scary Terry.
I have Zay Jones one spot ahead of McLaurin and 4 spots ahead of Collins, so I will go with Zay Flowers.
So you have your order is Zay, Nico, McLaurin?
No, Zay, McLaurin, Nico. Sorry if I said that wrong.
I'm Zay, Nico, McLaurin. And they're all within like
jammed in there.
Yeah, what was Flowers? 36 overall, Collins 41 overall, and McLaurin 51 overall.
I have them all as wide receiver 2s this week. Oh no, I have Collins at 25, so almost all wide receiver 2s.
Dexter says pick 2. We've already done this one, right? Ayuk, Collins, Rice, Ridley.
Yeah, I think we were Ayuk, Ridley, weren't we?
I was Ayuk, Collins.
You both were Ayuk.
I was Collins.
I was Ridley.
Yeah. I don't even know how do I rank stuff anymore.
I take that back. There's bad snow on the field. So Lex's first comment was the snow wasn't a problem. But I agree. What's good snow?
Dude, now did this fly through your freaking camera?
Goes right here.
What is going on?
Yep. I said go bother Bryce instead of me.
So frozen tundra of Canada can relate to the snow, and every fly's dead up here. So we're good.
They were until we went back to freaking summer weather this week, and then they all came back with a vengeance.
I'm supposed to bounce back weather-wise next week. I can't wait.
Zapped says Foreman or Roshan PPR. I think we're all Roshan here.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Here we go from Marco. Akers or McLaughlin?
I'm going to go Akers here.
Me
I
too.
do like them both, And I don't even know if I have it ranked that way, but I would go with Akers, and I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
It
I will go
warms
with
my
Akers
heart.
as well.
to hear it.
I hope Akers coming. If Akers coming back, gives a lot of my dynasty team some value moving forward. So I need Akers.
Mark also said, someone who eats a banana with the peel and has mayonnaise in his coffee can only be a new Tom Brady.
Will Levis, baby.
Tom Brady only eats avocados.
Tom Brady does whatever the hell Tom Brady wants to do.
Skeeter says start 2. Kirk, Stevenson, Thielen. Thielen's the number 1 here.
Yep.
I might sit Ramondre out of these 3.
I'm
Can't,
probably
though. Kirk, I guess. Man, what's my overalls?
I'm sitting Christian Kirk here. I'm not going to say what I've been saying all day, but I just see Christian Kirk having a smaller week compared to the last few.
I'm not going to say the same thing. I'm just going to flip
just say the opposite.
The other side of it.
Yeah. So, and Ramondre's just like getting so much work out of the backfield, which they might be in a situation where he's got to get some PPR points today to keep that team swinging the entire game. So, yep, give me Stevenson and Thielen. This is tough though. This is a tough one.
I just looked at my rank. I looked at my rankings and it says sit Ramondre, so I'm going to sit Ramondre.
Ramondre, 56 overall. Kirk, 40, and Thielen is 13th. So it is Ramondre getting sat here for me as well.
That's bonkers.
Thielen has been so damn good since week 1. Had that one bogus week, and he has been so good.
Yeah,
Evan.
Bryce just needed Sam Darnold to show him to just throw the ball to Thielen. You'll be fine. That's what got him going.
Wait, what?
He's talking about Bryce Young.
Sam Darnold is what got Adam Thielen going, and Bryce Young just duplicated it once he came back on the field.
What are you talking about? Sam Darnold plays for the 49ers.
Sorry, Andy Dalton. I don't know what's going on. I still had Darnold as the Panthers quarterback in my brain somehow.
Gotcha. I was like, what is going on? What are we talking about now? Now we're off the rails.
I was like, did I freeze again? What's wrong with him?
Henderson, Najee, or Roshan Johnson looking rough this week for Evan. Which one are you going with there, Bryce?
This is a tough one. I guess
it's Roshan for me. I'll just go in and get it out of the way.
I'm just a little nervous on the usage of Roshan coming off the injury and Foreman being so.
It's not an injury; it was a concussion. Well, I would agree with you if
concussion's an injury. But
I mean, it's not something that physically like harms. Like he's good now. That took him 2 weeks to get back, but he's not like he doesn't have a hammy issue or something like that that's going to keep him limited. Is what I mean.
True. Yeah, he's not limited in any fashion due to an injury. I understand. The problem is Foreman was productive, so he's earned a piece in that offense, and that's my concern.
Who's second for you here, Bryce?
Darrell Henderson.
And Darrell Henderson until last week was on his couch, right?
Exactly, but he was getting all the work in the Rams offense.
And who do they play this week?
Dallas.
So isn't this easy?
Foreman's good game that earned him more was against the Raiders. Awful.
And hey, I will say Foreman looked good against Minnesota too. We talked about it last week. He was a couple of shoestrings away from breaking a couple. And Foreman earned some work here. He's going to get some. But Chicago will run the ball a lot and short yardage passes, and Roshan's the best pass pro guy on that team by a mile.
All right. You convinced me. Give me Roshan. The answer is probably Najee, but I'm good.
Miles Gaskin could lead the Rams in touches this week. I do not trust Henderson at all.
Bijan or Jonathan Taylor, and why do you have so many good running backs that you have to decide?
Why is everybody better than me? Why is everybody better than me? I don't think I have it ranked that way, but yeah,
it's Bijan for me by 2 spots.
4 spots for me, but it's still Bijan. Hope he didn't get drunk last night.
If we see Bijan hungover as a Twitter trend, then we can correlate.
I don't have that. I don't have
Sully.
that power. No, I don't have any power.
We can contribute that to Sully. If Henry doesn't get traded, should I still hold on to Spears or drop him for potential running back starter or full PPR? I would still hold on to. Well, it depends. I mean,
it depends on who it is.
You can pick up, but I'm holding Spears all year.
Yeah, there's two reasons why I'm holding Spears. Three actually. Number one, when they trail, he's getting more work, and they're going to trail a lot. Number two, they could trade Henry if they don't. He could get hurt. And number three, Tennessee might just say, "Well, this guy's 31 years old. Let's see what we got," and just give Spears the bulk of the work and run out the schedule and increase their draft capital. So I think you absolutely have to hold him.
Bryce, they can't hear you when you nod your head.
Sorry, I didn't know if it was up to media. Tajay Spears probably is like one of the top 2 or 3 backs. That's a backup that holds value this year.
And he can't tear his ACL because he doesn't have any.
There you go. That's a huge advantage, I guess. How do you not have an ACL? I don't understand. Does he have to wear
either knee? He doesn't have ACLs.
You just take those out now? I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, man. That's what was reported. He's got no ACLs.
He's like, they can just remove those? Like, why doesn't everybody just say, hey, take that and pull it?
Yeah, I mean, geez.
Juan says, who for my wide receiver 1 and 2 and flex spot? Jacoby Myers, Josh Downs, Romeo Doubs, Tyler Lockett, Amari Cooper, Curtis Samuel, Tank Dell, or AJ Dillon. Jacoby Myers is in there.
So we need 3 of these guys, right?
Pretty much, yep.
A 1, 2, and a flex. Yep. Myers for sure.
I'm going to go Myers, Tank Dell.
I'm starting the first 3.
Amari Cooper.
Can I ask you why Amari Cooper?
I think he's the best player out of all these guys. I know he's the best player out of all these guys, so that's why he's my 3rd option still. Let's see.
I'm going Myers, Downs, and Lockett. No, I'm not. I'm going Cooper, Myers, and Downs.
Okay.
I'm going to bet. We need to bet about Cooper right now. I don't see what you guys are seeing.
You want Romeo Doubs over Cooper?
Sure, or Lockett, or Samuel, or Dell. I
like Dell.
I want all these guys over Cooper except for Dillon. Amari Cooper has 1 catch of significance with PJ Walker as his quarterback since he took over. Like, I don't know what we're looking at here.
I mean, against San Fran, he had 4 for 108. He had a decent game.
Yeah, and how many yards and what was his longest catch in that game, Bryce?
It doesn't tell me that on this.
That was his 1 catch. It was like a 45 or 50-yard reception.
He's still getting 8 targets by him. So, I mean, he's getting targets.
I don't play in points per target leagues.
I knew you were going to say something.
Well, I don't. Anyway, I don't want to drag it out, but I want nothing.
All right. I'll take Cooper. Who do you want in that? That's not
the field.
Dell?
The field, less Dillon. That's what I'll give you.
Well, that means you get all those options.
Yeah, you can't.
So
do
does
that.
every single one of them have to score more than him? Then
no. If he scores more than any one of those guys, you win.
So yes, I'll take that bet.
That's
cool.
Okay. That's free money. Hold on, I got it right here so I can remember it.
No, AJ Dillon doesn't count. Everyone else.
Okay.
You can take. I don't care about AJ Dillon anyway. You're
not going to care about. You're not going to care about Amari Cooper after this.
Okay.
Watch him score a touchdown on the first drive.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
2 top scoring wide receivers this week: Amari Cooper and Tank Dell. Wait for it.
So all we got to have is him not to be last out of that whole group, right?
That's correct.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's easy money. Spencer wants to know though.
Real quick. Never mind. I'll find it. Bryce will take care of it. He's a good bookkeeper. Myers, easy. Downs, easy. Dobbs, easy. Lockett. Yeah, the only guys I'm worried.
Easy all you want, but
okay,
it's not.
I'll just count $1, 2, 3, 4, $5. There you go. Cool.
Hey, well, at least they teach you guys how to count to $5 in Canada.
We know how to count. It's just not worth shit.
Feels like that's bad counting. or bad accounting.
Ah,
Might be
ah.
settling for Love at QB this week with Fields still being out. Is Carr Ritter an option this week instead?
Both are.
And
I
Carr
have
does
Love
serve a
ranked.
lot of yards. I like Carr this week, to be honest.
You know, I have Love ranked the highest because it still is Minnesota, but I don't think I think all three of these guys could be okay.
I have Ritter the highest. He's the highest for me.
Is he at home or on the road?
That doesn't matter.
I don't even know.
What did you say, Bryce?
I said that does matter.
Oddly it does, right?
Yeah. He is on the road.
I hope he runs because rushing touchdowns are keeping him going right now, right? So
Yep.
Yeah. Tough team to run against.
I have Love at QB 28 on the week.
Really, I'm at 13. Why do I have him so high? Vikings?
Maybe the question is, why do I have him so low? But
yeah, he gets a lot of garbage time points too sometimes in these games, in these matchups. So those do count.
I just look at the other options and I go, I would rather start that guy.
Yeah, I think I have him too high.
Maybe I shouldn't have Bryce Young ahead of him, but everybody else I feel fine with over him.
I'm battling my Carr versus Howell thing in my head still. Can't get. Thank you, Jason.
Carr probably would be higher in my rankings. I don't know, man. Quarterback's tough this year.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. 100. Marco says we can only have 3 QBs in that league, and it's a 1 QB league. I guess that's why he is available. Oh, the Bryce Young one.
Who are your other QBs, Marco?
Ryan says full PPR flex. Downs, Pierce, or DeMercado. Sully.
Oof, I don't know. I want to say Pierce, but I don't know.
That's who is going to be mine. Pierce is mine.
Mine too. Yep.
I'll go with Josh Downs.
Stepping out to go to the little boys.
Alrighty.
Dr. Squatch. I love it. I love the little picture and everything. This is epic. Half PPR league. Start Madison, DeMercado, or Jerome Ford if he plays.
This is DeMercado for me.
Me too. Even though I have DeMercado ranked behind. Oh, I took Ford out of my rankings because it didn't look like he was going to play, and then he stunned everybody. So
yeah, but I don't know. If he plays, it's probably going to be in some sort of limited fashion.
DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, or Damian Pierce. Pick 1.5 PPR.
Half PPR makes me lean. It makes it more than I was kind of debating it, but in full PPR, I feel like Garrett Wilson kind of gives the edge more now in the half PPR.
I'm still gonna go DJ Moore here.
I can't fault you for it.
Laporta or Schultz? Laporta.
Yeah, Schultz is a sneaky tight end play this week. Really like him in a lot of situations. Don't feel bad having him in my lineup, but Laporta has just been too good this year to sit. Wow, unless you're talking about the top tight ends with him.
Domo says was just offered Breece Hall and Christian Watson for Derrick Henry, Darrell Henderson, and George Pickens. Currently have Waddle, Cup, Ridley at wide receiver, along with Kamara and Monty. Do I accept this? So you're getting Breece Hall and Christian Watson for Henry? I want the Breece Hall and Christian Watson side.
Easily. I would take Breece Hall by himself for those 3.
I was just about to say you can keep Christian Watson, and I still want Breece Hall.
Yeah, but I'll take Christian Watson too. He's got some potential breakout plays for the rest of the year. Just pop in to say that and just bounce.
Tajay Spears.
I'm back.
Okay.
Calm your shit. We're good.
That was funny. Tajay Spears for me.
I don't think I really want much to do with Tennessee this week, so I'll go with Zach. I don't want either one, but Zach Moss.
Dargy says, good morning, boys. Tough one for the full PPR flex. Dell, Palmer, Thomas, Hunt, or DeMercado. So we got to pick one out of here. I think we would all agree we would probably be going Palmer here if he was healthy, but that's unfortunately not the case. So I'm going to go with, I think it's going to be Dell.
It's Dell or DeMercado, but maybe Hunt without Ford. I
Cream
think
Hunt
without
is
Ford.
my highest rated here.
I like Cream Hunt. I like Cream Hunt here as well.
Yep, Cream Hunt. I was wrong when
it's
I started
close.
searching.
It's close.
I'll join you there. Hunt's my highest too.
Seth Temple says Josh Down, Deontay Johnson, or George Pickens today. Pittsburgh is a rain game, which makes this harder. Had a good start to week on Thursday as well. If that changes who I should play,
Definitely.
I'm going Deontay Johnson here.
Yeah, the safest floor play here is Deontay Johnson. So if you had a good start, which I'm assuming means you had Josh Allen, maybe Gabe Davis in there, yeah, give me Deontay Johnson.
Yep. Raining a lot of places today. We're supposed to.
Sweep. Weather's funky down here.
Weather looks nasty out east. Yep.
Bijan or Swift?
Bijan.
Thanks. I got Swift higher.
I have Bijan 3 spots higher, so I'm with Bijan on this one as well. Nick says half PPR keeper league trade Ridley for Breece Hall? Question mark.
The answer is almost always going to be Breece Hall for me. So
yeah, I mean this is that's
close.
That's super lopsided. So if you're getting Breece Hall in that, run, take it and run.
Hey Bryce, did we do that Taylor super chat?
I think we did. Yeah.
No, the next one. Nope.
And I lost
right,
my okay, go ahead.
Keeping my start up.
I know where you were.
Yep.
Dell over Olave? Question mark.
No, sir.
No.
Yeah, no.
Olave. I'm going Olave.
Nick was your last one.
Yeah, he's the next one too. Puka versus Dallas or Ridley versus Pitt. I have Puka as my 13th overall player, so it's going to be him.
I thought
it's Puka for me.
13th overall player.
Maybe okay.
Puka's up there.
15.
It's still
Puka's
Puka.
15. Puka's both of our 15th overall.
There you go. Puka for me.
Puka for me.
Henry Siegel says, any of you guys adding Chris Rodriguez Jr. in case he takes off and gets half or more work? I think he's worth a spot if you've got one.
I just added him in the Scott Fish Bowl.
He said, I got a sneaky feeling about him.
Grabbing him in my deeper dynasty leagues for sure.
I have a scary feeling about him. I don't want him to be a thing, but I think he might be.
Jim Coop says in a PPR need one flex and one tight end. Waller, Schultz, Warren, Roshan Johnson, Tank Dell, or McLaughlin. Also, DSD, Miami or Dallas. So
I'm going to ask. I was going to say, let's do the defense first.
Miami, I have 11th. Dallas, I have 9th. So Dallas for me.
6 Dallas, 12 Miami. Dallas for me.
Sure.
And then one flex and one tight end. Waller's the tight end. I think we're all going that direction.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I'm flexing.
It's between Warren, Roshan, and Dell for me. I think McLaughlin is the odd man out here. And I think I'm going to go Tank. This is tough.
I'm going Roshan. Waller and Roshan for me.
I kind of like Warren over Roshan, but I don't know.
I'll take that bet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can, with all the other ones I'm going to win this week, I can afford it.
I'll take Roshan in that too.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, in this, I'm leaning Tank Dell.
I think I am too, and then I just need to look at my rankings. I don't want to bet against myself because that's just silly.
I don't think so.
I have Roshan. I have Roshan at 28 and Warren at 31. So I will not make that bet because my rankings are never wrong.
Damn it. He already wrote it
And-
and everything.
I know. You know, cross
Did
it
you?
out. Great.
Oh, hang on.
I did.
If he wrote it, I'll take it.
All right.
I'm
I
glad
hate-
you got
I
it
hate-
in, Bryce.
I hate messy notebooks. So yeah,
Thank you, Bryce, for getting it down.
another $10 for Sully. Woo!
Oh, yeah, we did it. Okay. Jags, DST, or Cowboys?
I'm pretty sure it's Dallas for me here. I had them at 6. I just looked.
Yep, it's
Dallas
Dallas
for
for
me.
me.
Yeah, Jags are way down on my list for some reason. Where the hell are they? I don't even know.
Billy
20th.
Billy Blanks wants to know: would you guys trade London for Myers? If this is redraft, I absolutely would.
Yep.
I
Give
would
me
join you on that.
Myers.
100%. It's kids on our heater.
B Ruckus says Henry is not getting traded anymore. That's what they're saying, but that's what franchises do. They say this guy's not getting traded, and then they get traded.
Yeah, they could say it for morale purposes too, in case he can't find a deal.
I think there's a really good chance that he doesn't get traded, but to Rick and Bryce's point, nothing's done until it's done.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that he is going to get traded, but it's not advantageous for a team to come out and say we are trading this guy because so many things can backfire. One, they can get less for that player because everybody knows they're trading him. Two, if a trade doesn't happen and then that player stays there, that can be bad for the locker room. So saying guys aren't getting traded is much better than coming out and being like, yes, we're trying to trade this guy, unless it's somebody you're going to release anyway.
Right.
You know, like Chicago with Claypool or Denver with the defensive guy that went to 49ers.
Yeah.
Those
okay.
situations,
Gregory.
you can say it, but
Yeah,
Spears is the real deal, though. A true threat in the passing game. I agree. What were you going to say, Sully? Sorry.
I was listening to some podcasts this week, and there were some players talking about the trade deadline and how teams really try to trade you outside of your conference, right? So it's very possible that the only guys they have interested in Henry is in the AFC, and they don't want to do that because teams don't want to play the guy they traded away as often as they might. And that's why they also talked about divisional trades that are you're going to face the guy twice a year, and it's a tad disrespectful to the player that you send that message that you don't care you have to play him twice a year. So those are why those trades don't happen very often. Like the TJ Hawkinson type trades are very rare.
B Ruckus says Mernon dudes.
Mernon.
Full PPR, need a flex. Najee, B Rob, or JSN, leaning towards Najee.
Yep. I think so. I want the answer to be JSN.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think you got to go with Najee right now, though. B Rob's got a terrible matchup.
And they think he's splitting with Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on the Najee, but they're all close. They're all within 10, I think, in my overall rankings. Right at the back end of the 100.
I'm just looking at my running back rankings, and I have Najee
right
4
back.
spots ahead of Robinson.
Ram says, need your opinion on who to start at flex this week in a full PPR. Ramondre Stevenson, Tank Dell, Josh. How does everybody in the world have Tank Dell on their team, and I have 0 shares?
I think I have one, and it's in a league I'm tanking, and I started him last week, and I'm like, what the hell? So
Stevenson, Tank Dell, Josh Downs, DeAndre Hopkins, Joshua Palmer. So we don't one of these? It's Ramondre.
Totally is.
Ramondre for me. Samuel says start Deontay, London, Pittman. If we're starting one for Samuel,
I'm fairly certain I have London ranked highest.
Pittman, because he always finds a way to get there and doesn't ruin your lineup.
I stand corrected. I have Pittman at highest. I have them ranked Pittman, London, and Deontay.
I'm probably Pittman, Deontay, and London. Pittman 33, London 59, Deontay 47. Yeah.
I got a little spooked by Deontay missing a practice this week. I think that's probably why I bopped him down, but I should probably move him back up a bit.
What about you, Bryce? You going Pittman here as well?
Yes. Yep.
How would you order them just in case he needed more than one out of these guys?
Pittman, Deontay, London.
Seth Temple says running back 2 today, Kenneth Walker or Pollard. CMC is my running back 1. Can you put one of those in the flex, or is your team too good?
Kenneth Walker for me.
Walker 35, Pollard 16. So I got Pollard ahead.
I have Pollard as my 5th ranked running back this week. I started out my weekly rankings with Walker as my RB2, and then he missed practice Wednesday and Thursday, and I slid him back. So it's probably closer than where I have the two. I have Walker at 13, but I'm going to go with Pollard, even though he's been disappointing this year. Coming out of a bye. Let's see what happens.
Joe wants to know Myers or Tank Dell. And then he said, never mind. I see the question is up.
Poor Tank Dell.
Myers. Dude, Tank Dell's been in. We were talking when you were gone, Bryce. Like, how does everybody have Tank Dell? And I have none. I have no shares in anywhere.
I could still hear you when I go because I keep my AirPods.
Oh, gotcha. Spears must have ACLs. I don't know who reported he didn't. Sully
From
did.
A to Z Sports.com, why no ACL isn't the big concern for Titans running back Tajay Spears?
Henry Siegel says, I only got Darren Waller in 10-team PPR. Should I drop Donta Foreman? I got Pollard, Stevenson, Spears, Henderson, and Kyron for David and Njoku. I'm fine with running one tight end until you need to stream one. I would hold Foreman instead.
I apologize. He has an ACL in his right knee, not his left knee. So he has one.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not dropping any of those guys to pick up David Njoku. I'll just wait till Waller's bye week and maybe someone goes on IR and frees up a roster spot for you, which Kyron Williams should be on your IR and maybe frees up a spot. But by the time Kyron Williams comes back, Darrell Henderson might be droppable.
Yeah, because he might be back on his couch.
Yep.
He might be droppable now. My record matters. So if I can just lose a week or maybe squeak by a week by just holding on to Waller, but if I need to win, I have to drop somebody to get Njoku, and I would probably drop. I think you have to.
Waller's not on bye though, so you don't have. There's no buys this week, so Waller's.
I'm just thinking like rest of the season. I'm trying to think. So the Waller's on bye in 13, and Njoku, I don't know when Cleveland. I think maybe they already had.
They were on.
They
5th.
did.
They were on week 5.
So you have until week 13 to wait this out, and Kyron should be back by then. So yeah, I'd wait.
Yeah, you don't need to drop anybody for a second tight end. I would rather only hold one tight end the whole time and then figure it out on the bye week. And
typically the way I do redraft as well.
He said Dak and Stafford I have in that QB league.
Oh, the one with Bryce on.
Oh, yeah.
One QB? I wouldn't worry about it. Just keep Dak and roll.
B. Ruckus says, Seth, play all 3 running backs.
Right?
Dr. Squatch says, thanks for the PFP love and the advice, of course. Profile pic. Yeah.
That's the soap, dude. I love this.
Yeah, that would be great.
Totally love it.
It's epic. Wavy says, DG Wavy says, Gus Edwards or Foreman. It's Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
Foreman. Nope. Sorry, I had Roshan in my head. Gus Edwards.
Andrew Palm says Gibbs or Jacobs.
Give me Gibbs this week. Jacobs has been terrible.
Yeah.
Bad matchup, too.
Gibbs for me as well. Briggs says start 2. Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Jordan Addison. Ayuk and Addison for me.
The bookend.
I second that.
Sweep it.
Joe says Stroud or T-Law. I have Stroud ahead. Because T-Law's overrated.
Stroud for me.
Well, T-Law at 8, Stroud at 10. I'll go with Lawrence.
Deontay Johnson or Joe Mixon in a PPR league?
Battle of the 4 plays.
I have Mixon at 46 and Deontay at 47.
Give me Mixon too. It's literally battle of the floor plays on these ones.
I have Mixon way higher, but I moved Deontay down when he missed missed that practice. So I think it's close, but I'll go with Mixon as well.
Is Darrell Henderson a must start?
No.
Not a must start. All depends on who else you have as options. But Caleb Williams or Harrison next year's rookie draft. It's a super flex dynasty.
Williams.
Williams is going to have more value.
That's why.
I think that if any player has the chance to be picked ahead of him, it is Harrison. Because
I am in this predicament right now, like of how I want to approach next year.
I have a league like this too, but I think I have the top 2 picks, so I'm fine.
I might have. I will probably have 3 of the top 4 picks, and one of them that I might not have is pick number 2. So I'm like, do I take Harrison at 1 and then
trade 3 and 4 for
whatever? 2? Try that, or just if I can't, I get take the next 2 best quarterbacks after, or I don't know.
Who would Joe take?
Joe's taking Marvin Harrison
right?
Jr. I mean, let's go. We got to know that.
I just think, and I know Rick doesn't value the quarterback as much as I do in Superflex, but I think more people are sort of on my side of the fence on that thought process. So the player that has the most perceived value on paper is the quarterback. So
I just don't think Harrison's going to be that far away because he's that good of a wide receiver prospect.
I think he can come into the league and be a top 10 receiver immediately.
I agree, but I also think recency bias. We all took Bijan over Richardson and all the other quarterbacks, and I think there might be a little bit of regret there right now. So I still think Caleb Williams.
If they regret that.
I don't know. I think Bijan still is the right choice right now. And I think that's what Harrison's going to be.
I don't disagree. But if Richardson hadn't got hurt and he was putting up top 8 quarterback weeks all the time, I think it might be a little different. But he did get hurt.
If you told me that one of these guys is going to be an NFL bust, I would almost certainly pick that it would have been Caleb Williams. That'd be that bust.
Harrison is way safer as a prospect.
That's what I think too, and that's why I choose.
Agree.
That's why I was big on Bijan. I was like, "There's no way this dude's going to be a bust. Like, look how he plays. Where any of these quarterbacks can be."
Pedigree alone, there's no way he's going to be a bust. And we see this in baseball all the time. Is these kids that grow up in these environments and in these locker rooms and around these players, they act like professionals when they're 7. Like he's give me Marvin.
Awesome. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. at this point. I think he's the number 1 pick this upcoming season. I wouldn't have said that 5 weeks ago. I
think I'm starting to sway to your side, but luckily where I think I have it, I think I have the top 2, maybe 3 picks. So we're good.
Jeez, I wish I was that bad.
Oh, I'm bad.
I sold out. I got 5 first-round picks and 8 second-round picks in that's next year's draft. So
I'm not far off, but I don't have that many seconds.
I'm gonna have a lot of number 2 picks, which I feel is good because I'm not gonna have to make the decision. I'm just gonna get Harrison and not have to. Yeah. Evan says trade away Swift and D-Hop for Jamar and Madison or D Pierce. So Swift and D-Hop, I would trade for Jamar and Pierce.
Yep. The running back's a bonus.
Yeah, you're winning just getting Jamar. So either of them I would do, but I would pick Pierce if I have the option.
Yep, I would.
Oh, absolutely. And yes, I would do it just for Jamar.
It's King Ahmed says, should I try to trade Bijan or just ride him out this year? He has a really good playoff schedule. I mean, I'm riding Bijan.
I think so.
I mean, in a redraft league, you could definitely something you can consider. I mean, like if you can get it like some name value on him and like trade him for Kamara in a piece, I think in redraft I would rather have Kamara rest in season than Bijan, to be honest.
Sure, but I don't think anybody's trading you Kamara for Bijan. Like Bijan's got to be the worst possible time to trade him is right now. He just had 1 carry for 3 yards.
Yeah, for sure.
If he bangs this week, if he has a good week, then maybe. But I'd be inclined just to keep him.
I was like, who's the stat keeper on if he bangs this week? Who's the guy notching those on his stat sheet?
Bangs.
Damn near said Girth again. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a moist predicament.
Wow. What was the other word we had when
someone put squirt in the chat?
Oh, this show's gone to
DG
hell.
Wavy. No, it has not. You know what show went to hell that time
Last
we
night?
decided to open up
Oh
the
yeah.
call to
Yep.
a Zoom call.
That Zoom
and
call was nasty.
that one, that was bad. This is nothing.
Yeah,
Addison, Chase, Olave, Garrett Wilson, pick 3. You're sitting Olave out of or Wilson out of these 3 or 4. That's what I'm sitting is Wilson.
I'm sitting Addison.
What?
Whoa.
Yep.
You're high, bro. I'll take Addison over Wilson in a bet.
Add me to that list. Jamar at 4, Addison at 11, Olave at something I can't see right now. It's Wilson. I'm sitting, right? I'm sitting.
That's who I'm sitting is Wilson.
Yeah. And to put it into perspective, Wilson is my 19th ranked wide receiver this week, and that's who I'm sitting.
Yeah, you have a good DG. You have good problems to have. Mr. Scampers, what's going on?
Cool cat.
Is the Falcon a good defense to play? Because I'm thinking about the Chargers. Listen, so this is why I don't like the Chargers, because the Bears could literally drop back 18 times on the game, which eliminates a lot of your point potential on the defense, because the Bears running the ball so much and whatnot. So I would have the Falcons.
They play Tennessee, who could also run that same process.
That is true. So I have Falcons 13 and Chargers 17.
I'll take the Chargers.
Give me the better defense. Atlanta has 2 shutdown corners and a decent defense, and they're playing a rotating quarterbacks situation. So I think I want Atlanta here.
Yeah. My counter is I'll take the best pass rushers.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's fair.
They are the best pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
They are damn good.
But the Bears only throw the ball 2 yards, so they get it out real quick.
That's true. Yeah. Both those games might not give either team a lot of opportunities for sacks for sure.
Tennessee is going to be trailing, where I think the Bears could be close with the Chargers, and Tennessee's going to have to throw with those 2 god-awful quarterbacks.
I think the Tennessee-Atlanta game will be close because Tennessee will try to run because they want to keep it close. Yep. And Arthur Smith's happy to just run 400 times as well. So that could be 6-3.
I just see Tennessee trailing and whatever quarterback in there needing to throw late in the game and creating those point opportunities.
Agree.
Bears could be in that spot too. But
I think he might go 4 yards downfield this week. He's got some confidence now.
He's doubling it now, huh?
Split the diff 3.
I could get up. Poor guy. I'm not rooting against the kid, but it's just what I've seen is crazy.
It's a great story. I'm happy for him.
Okay, New Orleans. I have it 12 and Falcons 13. So I've got New Orleans a spot ahead. I'm going with New Orleans over Atlanta defense here.
Yep.
I'm going Atlanta. I have New Orleans 1 spot behind, but either one are good. They're both pretty decent.
Oscar says, what did we say about Tank Dell? Boom or bust?
Mm-hmm.
The poor guy's in all these questions where he doesn't get picked to start, but I don't think he's a bad start.
I agree.
Yeah,
he's got. I think he's kind of safe from bust potential today. I think he could have a decent little floor and has that boom play. So I would lean boom over bust for this week.
I'm with it.
Yeah, no Robert Woods. I think he's more boom than bust as well.
He's just literally the last night and today, he's just been put in questions where he just happens not to be the guy that you pick, but he's like right there almost.
Yeah, which it makes sense. He was drafted late or picked up on waivers, so you probably had decent options on your roster already.
Right.
100%.
Raptors says, hey guys, non-PPR league, DJ Moore or George Pickens for today?
DJ Moore.
Yes, sir. Agree.
That's the most respect Sully's given me in a long time.
Yes, sir.
I have absolutely nothing but respect for you. Doesn't mean I have to be nice to you.
I'm kidding. Well, I'm not nice to you either, so it's fair game.
I'm Canadian. I don't deserve it.
we go through this like confident, self-deprecating
Roller coaster, man. It's a grind.
I have to start 2 of these guys: Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, and Nico Collins.
Give me the first 2. I think.
I have Waddle way down my rankings right now.
It's a Waddle week.
Yeah, I have Waddle at 24.
Is that wide receiver 24?
Yeah. Flowers at 21. Waddle at 24.
I'm Flowers and Collins. Isn't that crazy?
Give me Waddle and Scary Terry.
I can't argue with any of you guys on this one, but I just think
I don't think there's a bad combo you can choose here, to be honest.
Nico would be the guy that gives me the most pause just because. Actually, McLaurin too. I just think Howell could get sacked 50 times today. They're all good starts, though, man. They're all in my top 28, I think it is.
Waddle was on track to have a much better game last time he played against New England until he got that concussion in the back of his head. But he still put up a decent stat line because it was in like the third quarter, I think, middle of it.
So I have Flowers at 21, McLaurin at 22, Waddle at 24, and Collins at 25. Those are my wide receiver rankings.
That's a pretty good.
Go ahead and pick 2. Yeah.
I'm going Zay Flowers and Nico.
I think Bryce is right. There's not a combo I don't like there.
Skittles says pick 2 in PPR. Moore, Devonta, and Nico.
I think I'm sitting Nico here.
I am going to sit Devonta Smith.
Me too. I have DJ Moore and Nico both higher.
So do I. Son of a bitch. I have Devonta 1 spot behind Collins. So I'm with you.
Skittles says, oh, that's the one we just did. I switched back. Gross, SFB, DeMercado, Hunt, Miles Sanders. I have Hunt the highest out of these guys.
Hunt for me. Sorry. Hunt for me.
So SFB quarter point per carry and I think a quarter for first down. I think it's Hunt as well, but in that format, I could see DeMercado because I think he gets the most work of these 3.
Yeah, if we knew Ford was out and didn't make a miraculous comeback, then
I just think of the Browns play Ford today. They're dumb. That's just
I mean, it's the Browns, so way to go out on a limb there, Sully.
Every organization in the NFL is smarter than I am, but I just wouldn't why risk it? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Browns, you might be able to do a better job running that franchise. I mean, would you have given a fully guaranteed contract to a guy coming off of 27 sexual allegations?
No, and the only thing I could think of,
Browns lose.
When I was watching that game Thursday night, I kept thinking to myself, how much better would the Browns be with Baker still as their quarterback, all those picks and all that money? Baker plays his ass off.
Yeah.
And he's better than Deshaun Watson.
Sahan says full PPR pick 1 for the flex. Sutton, Tank, Downs. I think I had Sutton the highest out of these guys.
Give me the man that never gets chosen, Tank Dell.
Yep, I have Sutton the highest.
Sutton at 31, Dell at 35, Downs.
He's froze, right?
Oh,
not anymore.
no, he's alive. The hamster had to take a break.
He's getting tired, man. These 4-hour shows, the guy's running hard.
So what did you say? You didn't finish.
I did. Oh, I froze. Said sorry. Then Tank, then Downs.
You froze, like you cut out there. Sutton, Tank,
Sutton.
Downs. That order.
Sutton.
Sutton. Go hamster, go. Lockett or Tank Dell.
Super chat.
I
have Dell higher.
Dell for me as well.
Dell.
Joe Castle says Meyer or Njoku. And happy birthday, butthead. I'm just
happy
reading
birthday.
that from his profile picture. Isn't that the dude from Back to the Future?
Biff.
Yeah,
Biff, yeah.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Right? Michael Mayer.
Give me Michael Mayer.
I love that we're to this spot. And Joku just gets 10 every week, though. Like, it's safe. But I'll go Mayer as well.
I have him ranked way higher than Mayer, and I'm still going Mayer. I don't care about my rankings. I don't want anything to do with Cleveland, man. Not with Walker.
Okay, so we answered Lockett, Dell, and should be on Seth here, right? 2 running back league, no flex. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
Dell's
It's probably
still
to
on
a
waivers.
previous question.
I would pick
Dell.
Dell up 100%. Pick him up. Like, I can't imagine there's something on your bench that you couldn't drop for him.
Rockhouse says drop 1 Love or Purdy as my backup for a kicker. I drop Love before Purdy.
Agree.
Yep.
I can't believe Purdy's playing today.
Wonder what his symptoms were on the plane.
Joe.
Concussion symptoms were.
Joe, thank you. He says, yo, chat, we're missing some likes. These guys deserve them. Hit that like button.
Did you figure out that animation thing you were talking about last night?
Well, no, it's supposed to happen just automatically when you say like this or subscribe. But it might not be rolled out to everybody yet. Roshan, we've had this one a couple times. We all go Roshan on this one.
Easily.
Seth says, thanks, guys, and good luck today. Thank
Same
you
to you,
for
man.
tuning in. We appreciate everybody. Time is valuable, and you guys give us your time. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Big Boss says, good morning, fellas. 2-parter. Prescott or Purdy at QB and Waller or Andrews at tight end. Thank you, guys. So I'm going Prescott.
Yep.
Prescott and Andrews.
There's
Yes.
only one tight end I'm starting over Mark Andrews, and it's not Darren Waller, and Dak for me as well.
Pick 2, Cooper, Ridley, Dell.
Ridley and Dell.
I will go Ridley and Dell.
I'm going Cooper and Ridley.
Love it.
Billy Blank says, y'all give Mostert, Dell, Hendy for Swift and Myers.
Mostert, Dell, and Hendy for Swift and Myers. Yes. 8 days a week.
Yeah, Swift and Myers are 2 people I can put in my lineup when on the other side, Mostert's the only one I feel on a weekly basis I could put in my lineup.
So here's my question. Would you try to trade Dell and Hendy for Myers and keep Mostert and go with Mostert and Myers?
I would rather do that for sure, but I don't think
start there for sure.
That's what I would do, Billy, is I would try to trade Dell and Hendy for Myers and then match him with Mostert. But I am fine with this. If you have to go Mostert, Dell, and Hendy for Swift and Myers, then I think you're getting a good enough running back in return. But I like Mostert over Swift rest of the season.
I agree.
Big Boz says, do y'all think Hubbard is going to get start over Sanders? No, I think Sanders is their guy if he's healthy.
Yep, I agree.
I think it's closer. I'm wondering if Big Boz successfully fooled his wife into thinking that he was cleaning last night when he was watching you guys. That's what I want to know.
I'm so sorry. I was reading the comments and didn't even hear what you said.
Do you remember last night where he's like, gotta go, gotta convince my wife that I've been cleaning all night towards the end of the stream? So I want to know if he pulled it off. I thought that was awesome.
How'd that go, Big Boss? Yeah, sorry, I brain froze there reading the comments about Biff below.
Maybe you need to go back to the future.
In this one, Tyson Bagent legacy game versus Chargers. If his dad is there, it's over for the Chargers.
That video of his dad is hilarious.
His dad is a legend.
He was just like, it's just best if you don't resist. He's just like arm wrestler. He's a friggin' world champion arm wrestler. Jeez.
17 times.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
insane.
Yeah.
How does his son have such a shitty arm if his dad
Yeah,
is
I know, that's
time arm wrestling champion?
He just like fed off his son's arm strength. I guess,
Right?
like, a little
Right.
bit.
He
Sucked
ate
his
his
bone
son's
marrow out.
bicep as a kid. Biff. Laugh out loud at the pick of Biff. And Big Boss said, when she came home, I had burgers and fries cooking and doing dishes. She was happy.
Well done,
Look
brother.
at that.
Good job.
Well
done.
played. Well played. I feel like Big Boss and Mr. Scampers would be a fun pair.
All right.
A couple of cool cats.
Now we're caught up. I actually have a start sit question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry? Which one are you sitting?
I'm sitting Jacobs.
I think I am.
I've got Jacobs in just because of the dump offs.
Yeah, you might be right here.
Yeah,
Garoppolo's
it's a really
back
good
too, right?
It's
Yeah.
my most stacked team.
I really.
That's
don't
my
wanna
worst
do a
starter.
10-seed.
Yeah.
I have
I'm with you.
Jacobs.
I'll
I have Jacobs
toss-
at 14, Henry at 19. So I'm flipping back to Jacobs.
I'm with you. Slick Rip the Ruler says whole point PPR flex spot Schultz or Osborne. I'm going Osborne here. I'll take the wide receiver over the tight end for sure.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think Woods is out. I was going to say with Dell back, I think that hurts Schultz a little bit in that offense. It wasn't until the injuries started popping up that Stroud started looking at his tight end. But I'm with you. CJ is still our third option, but I'll go there.
Man, Schultz has been getting a lot of targets the last two games. Coming off the bye, could get a lot more today with the wide receiver out. I usually don't like to go tight end over wide receiver, but I feel like the tight end in this situation might get more targets, so I'll go with Dalton Schultz. It's close.
I'm not going to fight you. The last time I did, he scored twice, and
Well, yeah, he literally. I said you're like, why Dalton Schultz, and then he's been on a 3-game tear since.
and
then.
you're like, yeah, you're right. And then I watch and he goes like 4 for 60 and 2 scores, and I'm like, whoops.
Yeah, he had 3 catches. Well, he only had 3 catches and 1 touchdown, but
Didn't he have a game where he scored twice this year?
nah, he's got a touchdown in his last 3 games.
There you go. I thought he had
and
2.
then the last 2 games, he's averaging, or he's got 7 targets the previous game, and then 10 targets the game before that. So
We just talked about Dalton Schultz way too long.
well, we're caught up. That's why.
I talked about Quentin Johnson for 35 minutes last night.
Yeah, and I made sure everybody knew not to start him this week, didn't I?
Yes,
I made
sir.
sure that was clear.
Matter of fact, yes, it was.
If
Poor
Palmer's
guy,
out,
he
he could
didn't do
be
anything.
set up for a decent game. If Palmer's out, Quentin Johnson.
No, if
Who?
Palmer's out and the defensive backs are out for the Bears, then he's set up for a decent game.
Yeah, like literally, if the Bears only played 3 guys on defense, then maybe Quentin Johnston could have a big game.
Fair enough.
And by no defense, I mean like literally like just 3 guys on the line and no wide receiver covered.
All right, now you're being a little disrespectful.
You know that scene in the Bad News Bears where they call all the fielders in off the field? That's the scenario we're looking for.
So Spectre needs to know Jeff Wilson, Roshan, or Foreman, and we're all Roshan here.
We're all Roshan here for sure.
Team Roshan.
Good luck, Spectre. Hey man, I'm ready for the Roshan breakout. You guys know I've been waiting all year for this bad boy.
I'm thinking
Yes,
in that
sir.
league where I've got Henry and Jacobs as my weekly question mark to send a trade for Roshan Johnson. The problem is the guy that has him is in a rebuild, so probably hard to get him.
We need this bad boy. The old
I got Roshan in a guillotine league to line up this week.
Roshan 101.
I'm still sitting on this thing. I haven't really looked at it in a while, but it's my pride and joy of the collection.
It's a nice one.
That is a nice one.
Too bad they wasted all their money on that quarterback down there in Cincinnati.
Right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
What a bum.
Bryce wants to know, you think Mahomes will do fine in the snow? Yeah, I'm not worried about the snow at all.
Snow, rain, sleet, Mars, the moon. I don't care where he's playing. He'll be fine.
Sleet, I'll put a little pushback on the sleet. That gets pretty slick, but I'm with you the most part.
Sure. All things equal, there's no scenario that I can think of that I'm sitting him.
I mean,
unless I have Hertz or Allen.
Yeah, or Lamar.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh well, let's just add
Michael
on
Thomas.
to this. Hold on.
Michael Thomas.
Patrick Mahomes was added to the injury report just now with an illness by the Chiefs. No game designation status change. So you want to make that a little more confusing, Mr. Bijan Robinson at quarterback?
At least they reported it.
So he got hung.
True.
He was hung over too.
Jeez, out there with Brittany, Taylor, and Travis.
Holy, what a party that would
Travis
be!
Kelce, right?
Brittany's changed her tune. Hey, she led a little sour, bitter beer face the first 3 weeks that Taylor was around. She lost her spotlight.
Yeah, I think she filled her friend void since her and Jackson can't be friends anymore because he's a predator.
He's a weird. Yep.
I just had a coworker get fired for sexual assault this last week. Weird, like messed me all up. I did not.
Are you okay?
I was not a victim. I was not a victim.
I'm about to get canceled. Weird. Do you have a bear? You could show us where the bad man touched you. Can you still say that?
No, but it messed us all up because you thought this guy was like the nicest guy, and he had us all fooled.
Bunch of actives and inactive stuff's happening right now.
Yep, 11:30.
Only thing I see of fantasy relevance: Michael Thomas will play today.
I mean, the Patrick Mahomes illness thing is scary.
What do you do though? Like he played on a high ankle sprain and won the Super Bowl. Like if his injury status hasn't changed, I don't think he could do anything. Can you?
But it did change. He was added to the he was added to the injury report.
Hey, so he's questionable with an illness.
Yeah,
when's that game?
He's got no designation.
When's that game?
Oh wait, no, he's playing. Has been added to the injury, or he has been added to the injury report with an illness, but he does not have a game designation. He'll play. That is per Ian Rappaport 2 minutes ago.
Okay,
so that's Kansas City covering their butt after the Bijan situation.
Yep.
Joe says I'm starting Swift over Mostert on one team and Hall over Swift on another team. I have ETN as running back 1 on both teams. Thoughts? Mostert is who I'm starting out of
easily.
Him and Swift, and I like Hall over Swift.
Yeah, Hall's your running back 1 on the other team, though. He's your best running back. He's better than ETN. ETN's just having a nice little stretch of 2 touchdown games, but if you take away, which you can't, but I mean, when he's super touchdown dependent, it definitely can skew the perceived value of that player.
We do our rankings pretty early in the week, and I'm guilty of not always updating everything. And I have Swift 1 spot ahead of Mostert, but Mostert was questionable early on, so I would change that. I have Hall ranked the highest though this week. If I had to start one or the other, I would start Breece Hall over Mostert.
I finally got running backs in my guillotine league this week.
That's awesome. Hey,
my money. I got Breece Hall and I don't even remember the other one, but he was better than who I had.
That's good. How much did it cost you for Breece?
I'll pull it up in a second. I think it was 200. Spectre says, "Flex that fire, baby," and he's got the fire in the picture. It's perfect. You're
Curtis Samuels, Zach Moss are active.
Okay. Pick 3, please. All wide receivers. Bryce needs to know Adams, Ayuk, Thielen, Kirk, Cooper, Deontay. The first 3 for me.
First 3 rather easily.
I don't know about Adams. I have to look. It's the first 3 easily for me as well.
Joe says, "Uh-oh, I've got Kelce. Do I switch to Laporta?" No, you do not.
If you could double Laporta, I would still start Kelce.
I don't know about that, but Purdy or Minshew?
Minshew
for me.
I'm really worried that Purdy is.
And Minshew is like is like a reincarnated Ryan Fitzpatrick
Yeah.
for the
I'm
NFL.
just really worried that, and I hate making this comparison, but I'm really worried that Purdy could be going down Tua's road where he come back too quick, get hit, and be gone again. So I think it's ridiculous that San Francisco's even rolling him out there today, personally.
I have Minshew ahead, but that was before Purdy got cleared, so I'm going Purdy here.
I have Minshew at 20. It's not like I love him.
I have Minshew at 19 and Purdy at 21 before the Purdy getting cleared part. So
Yeah, I have Purdy at
Same
37. I have 39 quarterbacks ranked this week. What a disaster.
what a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Vansco says, I'm splitting hairs here, trying to figure out if I should flex Tank Dell or Darrell Henderson in full PPR. I'm going Tank Dell.
Tank Dell for me.
I want you to keep those hairs in one piece and start Tank Dell.
Trevor Lawrence is playing.
Good.
C-Dog says, probably a dumb question. No dumb questions, C-Dog. But do I fade?
There's dumb questions.
Do I fade
This isn't one of
Mahomes?
them. This isn't one of them.
This is not one of them.
Oh, what a dick Bryce is, hey?
I'm just saying there's dumb questions.
Yeah, Bryce asked the dumb questions.
I
Probably a dumb
Sure.
question, but do I fade Mahomes with the illness just because I got screwed last week with Bijan? I'm not. If it
He's still-
backfires, it backfires, but
I'm not either, and he's still playing Denver.
Yeah. And I was doing a little more dive on Twitter. It looks like he's been battling an illness for a couple of days now, and he's better today than he was yesterday. So that's a good
I
sign.
really think this is Kansas City just putting a designation on it after what happened with Bijan last.
Yeah.
Just giving people a heads up. He's got a
Yeah.
runny nose. He'll be fine.
Patrick says PPR, flex, Ridley, DK, London, or Watson.
Ridley for me.
I have London the highest.
Ridley for me. Streaming tight end, Thomas, McBride, Taysom, Mayer, and Njoku. Was leaning Thomas, but Juwan is healthy. Wait.
Which Thomas is that? Why can't I think of that?
Logan, probably.
But
Thank you.
why does Juwan factor Thomas? I'm going Thomas here. If it's Logan Thomas, I'm going Logan Thomas here.
I think he meant to say was leaning Taysom, but Jawan is healthy because he lists Taysom as one of his tight
gotcha.
ends.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Let me look at my tight end, my world-renowned tight end rankings. I am going with Trey McBride.
I'm going Logan Thomas.
And
They're
that's the
gonna
right
have to-
answer. And that's the
They're
right
going to
answer.
throw that
I don't
ball.
know why I have Trey McBride ranked.
I
higher, but
honestly like these first three options. I like all three of these first three options.
I don't like
I'm gonna go
Taysom
Logan.
anymore.
See, I would probably be Thomas, Mayer, and Njoku McBride.
Really?
If I looked at mine. I mean, I just looked. You and I have a huge difference, and maybe I'm just missing something. But
I just really like Trey McBride. I don't know why.
Yeah, you have McBride at 78 overall, and I have him at 131 overall. So we have a slight difference in the.
I will say McBride has a horrible matchup. Baltimore is nasty against the tight end, but I don't know. I think it's because he's third in routes run by tight ends with at least 20 targets. Some crap thing I heard somewhere that I decided to use in my ranking this week.
Would you start one of Roshan Johnson, Darrell Henderson, or Jalen Warren over Ramondre this week? No, we're all on the Ramondre train.
Don't overthink it.
Fansco says that he appreciates the votes of confidence. We appreciate you coming by and saying what's up. Now, if you would slap that like button, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Chris says, do I start Tank Dell or Rashee Rice?
What did I
we've
say
had these
before?
two. I know. It's been a while. Rice,
I think I have
58.
Bryce higher. Shit, I have Dell higher. 35 and 37 in my wide receiver rankings.
You took Rice in a $5 bet against me in this.
There you go. So it's Rice.
I'm taking Dell.
There you go. Double down. I'll take Rice.
Who did I pick on that one when we said that? Because
You stayed out. You stayed out, but you did choose
no.
Rice. You chose Rice.
I chose Rice.
You did. You like, I like both of these guys, but I'm choosing Rice because I'm like, you won in the bet too, and you
That
said
makes
no, I'll
sense.
steer clear. Yeah,
I do recall
I have-
that. That's factually correct without having to check the tape.
Yep.
God,
Joe
Like
says,
one
"I
for
hear a baby. Who are the babies' picks today?"
that baby
Oh.
picks Bryce.
Yeah, she's pretty happy right now.
Wisely so, she picks Bryce.
Yeah,
That baby would make better fantasy picks than Bryce.
probably.
That's the same sound I usually make about 4:00 in the afternoon on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
What?
She wanted out of her car seat.
She's
Yeah.
probably because she's not in a car.
They just got home.
I think that's logical, right? I think that's, I don't have to put my seatbelt on my couch. I don't buckle up to watch the football game this afternoon.
Well, she lives in that weird house where her dad wears a helmet all the time.
That's true.
That was
That's true.
funny. Last week, my parents came over on Sunday, and my mom's taking a cute video of her, and you just hear me in the background just yelling, "F you, Arthur Smith," because I didn't know about the
Awesome.
I didn't know about the Bijan, like him sick. I just saw he wasn't getting this.
That's the best.
Arthur Smith.
Can you get that video for us so we can make a short out of it?
100%.
It's pretty. I honestly said it in a way that I might have said it meaner than that, but yeah, I have the
Oh
video.
no. We still want it.
I'll send it to you.
Joe's just laughing. All right, family. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us this morning. We're going to go ahead and hit the road. We've got all the questions answered.
I got one question for Bryce really quick. These guys answered it last night. Howell or Carr?
This week?
Yeah.
Give me Sam Howell.
Okay. Let's get out of here before something happens.
Yep.